Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got a Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. On Tuesday's show, Corey and I brought you what we felt were the 6 best decks in the modern metagame currently. Today we're going to explore some of the sort of tier 2 archetypes, the less popular and or less successful decks, but still decks that certainly have the capability of winning a tournament, are definitely viable choices this weekend and likely even moving forward.
Yeah, and I think they're decks that can just like jump into that, 6, 5, maybe 4 spot on like any given time. Like you're probably not competing with those top 3 decks as far as just like being like a really, really good, well put together deck, but they're decks that can really perform well on events.
And in particular, these are the ones that we like the most right now.
Yeah.
So you're getting a glimpse into the decks that we think might be a little bit underrated currently. And so we're going to just continue breaking down and exploring the current modern metagame because we've got a lot of modern paper tournaments coming up with the return of SCG cons.
Yeah, gotta love them. And just so many opportunities to play your favorite modern deck. And I mean, some of these 6 decks are likely decks that people have played for a long time, right? Like they're not all new decks, but they're decks that kind of have their ebb and flow like effects that they're really strong, especially the deck I'm going to be playing. Living End is a deck that's basically the new Dredge right now, because I just think Dredge, like, I've played against that deck where I just have 0 hate and I'm just like playing blockers and stuff for their 3/3s, and it's just like they're not as fast or as powerful or even consistent anymore. Like where you just beat that deck without graveyard hate. You don't really beat Living End without some kind of dedicated hate. Like if this deck just flies under the radar and nobody has any spell bombs, Soul Guide Lanterns,
Endurances,
Nile
spell bombs,
even
Rest in Pieces,
plenty of things. Even Fluster Storms and stuffs are pretty good against them.
But if it's Chalice of the Void,
but if you're missing out on all 15 of those cards, this deck is perfect.
Fortunately, you do have Force of Negations and Griefs to help protect the combo. There are times when you can power through one piece of Graveyard Hate, set up a Living End with an extra mana or 2 and or a Street Wraith and potentially get 2 or 3 creatures in the graveyard after they use their Nile Spell Bomb.
Yeah, that's tricky.
That
is tricky.
The best Living End players will definitely give themselves a good chance to beat, 1 or 2 hate cards. So you got to do, often do a little bit more than that.
Yeah, got to pressure him as well most of the time,
And that is going to be the name of the game from my side since I am playing Gruul mid-range. Not much in the way of disruption for this matchup. I'm playing to the battlefield, which is scary against the Living End, but I can Blood Moon you if you're not careful enough and just stop you from casting your Cascade cards. I can really apply a ton of pressure early. I've got some Endurances in the sideboard, and I think one of the sneaky important cards for my side of this matchup is going to be Seasoned Pyromancer. It allows me to discard creatures and put them into my own graveyard so that the Living End doesn't completely decimate my side of the battlefield.
Yeah, sure. Discard 2 Bone Crusher Giants, whatever. I got 5/5 hexproofs here.
And Furies and
all right. Discarding some Furies is pretty sweet, but I'm gonna still have some 7/7 whales here. Like, I'm not afraid of your Bone Crusher Giants, but we'll see.
We'll see about that.
I am afraid of Blood Moon though. I'm not a fan of that card. Okay, let's battle. I eviscerated you on Tuesday. Sorry for the spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched, but.
You don't want to watch that anyway.
Yeah. That's true. All right. How's your hand?
I think it's a keep.
Yeah, I think mine's a keep as well. It's actually just pretty good. There's a little bit of problem with the mana, but we got a lot of time to fix it, so we should be okay.
I will lead on Misty Rain Forest.
Okay.
I'm going to get Basic Forest.
Basic Forest.
And play Ignoble Hierarch.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I'm afraid of that. All right. I'm going to start by going to 18. Cycle. And I'm going to take 2, go to 16, and I'll pass to you.
Okay. 16 to 19. Draw. Let's go crack fetch to 18. I'm going to go to 16 for a Stomping Ground.
Okay.
And play Clothis.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pass turn.
Blood Moon would have been maybe a little bit more scary, but that's still quite good. I don't really have the choice to kind of just not have anything in my graveyard. I could probably consider not cycling if I didn't have already a Street Wraith, but since I already do, I'll cycle.
Yep.
Draw. Okay, I have a land, and I'll pass to you.
Draw.
Okay. Clothis trigger.
I will target the Striped Riverwinder.
Oh, it has hexproof.
So you go to 14, I go to 18?
Yep.
Okay, with Corey on... 2 mana. I guess I just have to go for this Blood Moon.
Blood Moon.
Could have done this last turn, but I thought there was a decent chance you had a Force of Negation.
Well, I didn't have it last turn, but I did draw it this turn.
Obviously.
But I'm going to start with discarding this whale, looking at the top two, seeing which one I want, and the other into your graveyard. I'll put this other whale here. Do I have to reveal this one? Nope. And then let's go with exiling this.
Okay, you're up.
All right. But we don't have it all wrapped up yet, unfortunately. So I will take 2.
Go to 12.
And all right, I was going to try to get cute and Violent Outburst instead of Shardless Agent, but this still just gets rid of the cards, so.
You said you don't have it all wrapped up.
Well, I was trying to bait you into targeting one of my creatures and then Violent Outbursting. You know,
But having a Cascade spell is having it all wrapped up.
it is, but I was lying to you so that you would target a creature and then I would get it. But I realized that this is just better anyways, so.
Okay, well, we're done here.
So we are all wrapped up, I guess. Okay.
Ross is going to take his ball and go home.
You remember when you slow rolled me for like an entire episode? I slow rolled you for like 3 seconds there, you know? That's not so bad.
No, you just blatantly lied to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. But you didn't lie to me. I still remember that Bone Crusher, you jerk, okay? So,
I didn't lie to you.
and I believe you were playing Gruul too, which was even better. It was Gruul against like I was playing humans or something. But all right, everyone, that's going to do it for our first game. I'm sure Ross is going to bring in those pesky little endurances and we'll have a little bit tougher of a game. Game 1 should be pretty favored to me, I would think.
I guess I was supposed to just slam Blood Moon, but I thought I would have a chance to beat, a couple cycled creatures with Clothis if I wait on the Blood Moon for a turn. Turns out that was not true at all.
Yeah, if you played the Blood Moon, I'm just dead. I did not have a green source. I was trying to cycle aggressively to find green, or force, but didn't have it. Blood Moon would have won the game handily. So the show's starting off great for the good guys over here. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with sideboarding here on Versus Live.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Gruul Midrange and Living End. On my side, sideboarding has a very specific, game plan in mind here. Obviously, want to bring in the Endurances as Graveyard Hate. I'm also going to be bringing in Veil of Summer to counter both Grief and Force of Negation as a means of protecting the very limited range of cards that I have that interact with Corey, namely Endurance and Blood Moon. Cards I'm cutting, Lightning Bolt and Renin 6, are just meant for fair matchups. Bolt is obviously very poor in this matchup, even though it can ostensibly kill some creatures, but once the Living End goes off, the game is probably over.
Yeah, trying to kill the creatures after Living End is a very, very sad plan.
Yeah, and then Renin 6 is here for, grindy games where we're both interacting. Yeah. That's not really what's happening, so easy to cut those. Veil of Summer, obviously not particularly good in the matchup, but there's going to be a subset of games where it, is the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah.
Much more, and that subset is much larger than Bolt and Renin 6, even if these cards have higher floors.
Yeah, even on turn 3, if you had land 4, Blood Moon backed up with Veil, game ends.
Yep.
So, all right, from my end, I'm pretty confident that I want these. The only other consideration is if I wanted one more Foundation Breaker, since Blood Moon is very scary, but that's really the only target. So I think 3 answers was enough. And then I'm actually bringing in Leyline just for endurance. It's all it's going to have. But if I can have this right away, I don't have to worry about trying to grief endurance or anything like that. And I can just go off whenever I want to. And then as far as what to take out, I've watched Nassif play this deck a lot. And still, I really have no idea because I feel like everyone just kind of takes out a bunch of stuff. You know, you just take out things. Everything's a cycler. Everything kind of does the same thing. I'm sure there's one of the cyclers I should be taking out, maybe instead of the street race or something, but kind of unsure here. And then taking out a couple of the griefs. Got to expect there's going to be some veils. I kind of want to draw like exactly one. It's not the most amazing card in the matchup, so we're just cutting a couple. All right, Rob, you got any questions for us from our lovely studio audience?
Yeah, I had one just
They're not in the
come
studio,
in.
Corey.
Well, they're in a studio. Maybe
That's a hallucination.
maybe they're
that you're
home studios. You know, who knows?
From Baby Dino, what do you think of the 4-color Lutri control deck that's been popping up lately?
Yeah, honestly, if I would have saw that deck before we submitted decks, I probably would have threw it out there. It does seem kind of like a meme to me. I mean, it just has to be a meme, right? Like all one-ofs and stuff. Have you seen this?
I've seen it. I haven't really looked closely at what the list really looks like.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've glanced at pictures of it.
Yeah, I saw Collins go 15-0 with it. Couple things to take away from that. Collins is a great player. You know, Moto Leagues, it's the wild, wild west sometimes, you know? Like, have you seen some of those decks that are on the 5-0 deck dump? It's like, you won how many matches with that?
What they don't tell you is how many 1-3s preceded that 5-0.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, so no, I have no real strong opinions on it, except I would like to try it. But I think if we have a tier 3 day, that's where we'll be putting some Lucci decks.
I would be very skeptical of the deck's potential as a high-level competitive option.
Yeah, exactly. Decks that lose that much consistency, it's always pretty rough. I mean, like, Yorion decks are like the peak of inconsistency that is still, you know, a functioning deck. You know, just because you're putting all good cards, but when you have to play all one-ofs, you can't really rely on, like, drawing to something. You know, it'd be like, all right, all we need is a way to exile this. I need my one-of path, you know, like...
You got Path, and you have Prismatic Ending, and there's... I think one of the things that helps that deck out a lot is the addition of all the removal spells in MH2 means that you can probably fill out a reasonable removal suite now, whereas before you were really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like, I remember seeing some, like, Izzet and Grixis decks. Now it's 4 colors, but you know, going and that's, you know, an even wider card pool to draw from. So there's enough, especially 1-mana removal. I think that was the biggest issue with being Lutri before. You just didn't have enough 1-mana interaction.
Yeah.
Now, if you're 4 colors, you know, you're probably playing Inquisition, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Unholy Heat, Lightning Bolt, you know, Prismatic Ending, and Path. They don't play Path Exile. You know, Prismatic Ending and maybe Incarnation. So that gets you up to, like, you know, 8-ish 1-mana interaction cards.
Honestly, that's pretty true, because even like Tainted Pack and Historic, I know you probably didn't play too much of that deck, but like before it got banned, that deck was just really consistent. And it was a Dimir one-of deck, but like just a lot of the decks functionally do the same thing. So it's kind of like you're playing 4 removal spells. It's kind of like you're playing, it's just a little bit of variance into it. So yeah, maybe that deck just could be good, because that Demonic Pact deck definitely broke the mold, and everyone thought that was a meme too, and that deck was just great. Yeah.
And you were able to, I think, get away with it in Historic, not having all the 1-mana interaction, because the format isn't as punishing as Modern on the early turns.
But
in Modern, you really need the 1-mana interaction. So now just being 4 colors and having all the additions from MH2 seems like it solved one of the biggest issues that Lutri had, as if, you know, Lutri was this close to mainstream before.
Finally, the otter is here to stay.
But you know, I imagine the deck is, you know, not as bad as you would think, but not as good as you want it to be.
One thing I know for sure, it's utterly ridiculous. Like, it is completely utterly ridiculous.
Serenity now.
Also, I was going to say, Corey,
Serenity
you should definitely have played it. You've been playing Commander lately, so it's perfect for you.
That's true. Yeah, nah, that deck's a little too spiky for me. I'm much more of a casual player these days.
I'm pretty sure I've heard Jeremy complain about you playing spiky decks already. So
already? Wow. Okay.
You're just too good for them.
Way to let me know this while I'm on air. I mean, I can't even focus anymore that I'm being called a spike behind my back.
Yeah, we're the peak of competitive Magic, right?
That's true. Yeah, I got to have some bleeding over. All right. I'll keep. Every hand looks super medium, but
My hand was functional, but didn't have any of the cards I'm looking for in this matchup, so an easy mulligan on 7.
Yeah. If you're just rushing out Bone Crusher Giant and trying to pillage a land or something, I don't know what those decks do these days.
No pillages anymore.
Okay.
My hand was 4 lands, Utopia Sprawl, Bloodbraid Elf, Chandra.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, without pillages, I no longer have people yelling at me to call it, Gruul Ponza instead of midrange.
That's true. Which still, that never really made sense to me.
Pons is a deck name from the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what does it have to do with land destruction? Was it just...
I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
That's before my time.
Wow. Okay.
You'd have to talk to, like, P. Sully about that one.
Yeah, that's when they were still designing cards on, like,
MS-DOS
Egyptian
computers.
slog, like, just slags. You gotta, like, chip out the card design and...
Call the scribes.
Oh, too good. All right, I hope you go to 5. I mean, I said the out loud thing again, Rob.
So,
Is your hand that good?
I'm pretty sure if I keep this hand, you're going to win the game at 10 life.
Okay. That's generous.
Can I go to 5? Like, this hand has a shot. It has some draws at things. It's probably... This hand seems like it's just as likely to do something good on turn 3 as a 5-card hand, but also has some pressure.
Okay.
So I'm inclined to keep it, but maybe I'm stupid.
Well, we already know that, but,
We won't hold it against you.
Yeah, we won't hold it against you.
I will lead on Utopia Sprawl for red.
Okay. That was a good draw. Okay, I'll play this and pass to you.
Also, someone in chat is telling me the Ponza name comes from, like, a pizza place that, like, the group of players in Madison used to eat at. And it's totally behind naming things after pizza.
Yeah. I bet Cedric would love that deck name.
Bone Crusher Giant.
Bone Crusher. Okay. All right. I will sack. I'm going to get a basic and then cycle. Try to prevent against Blood Moon a little bit.
19.
Yep. Eventually. I have a basic, right? Exactly 1. Excellent. I have 2? Okay. Oh, okay. But just 1 island. Yep. All right. So, cycle. Cycle.
17.
17. Draw. I'll play this land, and I'll pass to you.
Oh, that's a pretty good draw.
Uh-oh.
I will attack for 4.
Crunch. Yep.
You go to 13.
Yep.
I will play Prismatic Vista, go to 19.
Ooh, that's a pretty vista.
Get a basic mountain.
Okay.
The basic mountain, I
The.
should say.
Okay.
There's only 1.
Okay.
I will cast Seasoned Pyromancer.
Oh. What'd you know?
Yep.
Okay. That resolves.
And we'll discard Fury and Bloodbraid Elf.
Not bad. Bloodbraid is only when you cast, right?
Correct.
All right. But I'm less afraid.
Draw 2.
Okay. And green card endurance.
And get 2 tokens and pass the turn.
Okay. End step. I'll take 1. I'm just going to get the forest. Now I just don't care about Blood Moon. So I'm a teamer deck. So if I have 1 blue, 1 green, I don't have to worry about that.
So you're 12.
12. All right. We'll discard this whale. Look at the top 2. Yeah. And put this into my hand, this in the graveyard. And I got a Shardless Agent.
Yep.
Doink. Living End.
Response, I'll cast Whale Summer.
Okay. It's like that doesn't do anything, right?
No.
Okay.
Draws me a card, though.
Yeah,
In case I draw Endurance.
that's fair. Did you?
No.
Okay.
Didn't have the green card to pitch to it anyway.
Resolve Living End. So I get this too. Yeah, okay.
Okay. I will deal 4 to Curator.
Okay. And I'll pass to you. All right, you just got to beat a giant whale. Got the goods over there?
Attack with Fury.
All right, I'll block.
Okay. Fury dies. That takes 4.
It was on the stack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the Charlotte
It comes in afterwards.
I'll evoke another Fury.
Okay.
Deal 4 to the Waker.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Seems good. Now it's like, okay, do I win this race?
Yeah. 4-turn clock versus 4-turn clock, and you're on the play.
Otherwise, you got a lot of Furies. That's a good. Your graveyard is not better than mine. Which is scary.
Season Pyromancer is a heck of a drug.
Interesting. All right, I'm gonna attack for 3.
I'll get a 16.
Then I'll play this land and I'll pass to you.
Attack for 3.
I'll block.
Sprawl this forest.
Okay.
I will name Red.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Oh, tap draw. Cycle. All right, I'll attack for 3.
13.
Pass to you. Exciting stuff here.
Fury.
Fury. Okay.
Warrior. Pass the turn.
All right. YOLO. Not even sure if this is great, to be honest. All right. Well, Living End. There we go.
Sakura as it is, I think I just need to kill the Waker. Though the Curator is also somewhat scary at that point, because I just don't have a lot of ways to answer it. So either kill the Waker or I kill Curator and Street Wraith. If you're left with the Waker, then I just don't really have good attacks. Yeah, I'm just going to kill the Waker.
All right. Done.
Yep.
Okay. Draw.
Oh, sorry, the Season Pyromancer also triggers.
Yep.
Discard another Pyromancer, draw 2, get 1 token.
Yep. I'll play a land and yeah, this Living End could have been really bad. I was just like, might as well cast it. Didn't have any other pressure. All right, I'll attack.
9.
And already played a land. Shardless Agent. I'm not going to cast it, so I still flip, I guess.
Yeah, you have to Cascade, so I get to know if it's in your hand or not.
Yeah, it's in my hand. Okay. It's in my hand. All right. I'll shuffle and I'll pass to you.
So don't have to be afraid of any more living ends. It's just hard casting stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think I have a way to put this on the bottom or anything. So
the best thing for me to do is figure out what the best possible rest of Corey's hand could be, because that's what it is.
Yes. My hand is busted.
Three others. So it's got to be untapped land, double waker.
Yeah.
That's got to be it.
Good. That'd be pretty good.
Can't really beat that because my hand is the worst it could possibly be.
Really?
The two Furies trade for Street Wraith and Riverwinder, unfortunately, which leaves me ahead on the ground, but I might get raced by this Curator, especially if you just have like another big thing next turn. Could have a Brazen Borrower on the end step as well. That would be really bad. If I attack with everything, though, Corey just gets to go make the obvious blocks on those two, and then probably is there and like one chump to protect his life total. He takes 8, goes to 4.
Yeah, do that. I'll do those blocks.
And I
those
lose,
good.
I lose 3 creatures for a Shardless Agent, and put him to 4. So I would lose these 3, and you would lose this. Like I'm not.
I like that.
Yeah, then you've set up to just trade down the entire ground. So the all out attack doesn't really get me anywhere. So I think I just have to offer the trades with the Furies.
Yeah, and I think I probably have to accept. I accept the charges. Okay.
Yeah, I'll play Forest and pass.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need to crack that.
Okay, no Brazen Borrower. That's good.
Attack.
No fetch also probably means Corey doesn't actually have Waker, which is shocking.
So put you
go
to
to 5.
Then I will cast Shardless Agent. Flip it over and shuffle. And I have a Steam Vent, and I'll pass to you.
End step, I'll exile Pyromancer.
Okay. I have all the agents, though. I'm a secret agent. Secret Agent Core.
Play Seasoned Pyromancer.
Okay.
Discard 2 Wooded Foothills.
Okay, that is pretty bad. Are those better than 2 Wooded Foothills?
They're not the worst.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. Get in with the 3 creatures that can attack.
For sure blocking Bloodbraid. But I can't, crash back for lethal, unfortunately. So double blocking Bone Crusher feels kind of bad. All right, I'll block like that and take 4.
Brings you to 8.
Yep.
I'll pass the turn.
Don't think it's worth taking 2 damage to play this 1 card. So I'm going to cycle, trigger, scry 1?
Yep.
I scry first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll keep it. I'll do it again. I'll put this on bottom. Okay. I'll attack.
Go to 1.
Go.
You're 8.
Yep.
So if I attack with everything, you cannot survive by blocking a token. Your only flash threat is Brazen Borrower. I guess you could like bounce Bone Crusher, block Season Pyre, or block a token and take 6. If you had that, I can still do something, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. Soak up damage. Hope I can live.
You go to 3.
Yep.
Well, I drew the 4th Fury. You didn't bring in like any. I'm thinking about evoking it, but I don't think you have like Mystical Dispute or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Cast it.
Resolves.
4 damage.
Dang.
Pass the turn. Did I get there?
Yep.
Fourth Fury was good enough. Yeah, 2 4s on occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Chandra was not good enough.
The Chandra was not good enough. Yeah, you probably should have tried to cast that Chandra. I should have put myself in Chandra.
Oh, no, I didn't. The other card in my hand was another fetch. But
okay.
I was just thinking about my outs to kill the.
Gotcha.
Kill
Yep. GG. Yeah, I guess
4 Furies, 3 Seasoned Pyromancers.
That's a recipe for success right there.
I'm just impressed that I was able to win a game without hate.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, that second living end might have just been a little aggressive. But I mean, to be fair, I had to just like wait to draw. So I had nothing in hand but Cascade stuff, and I just drew the living end. So if I draw another living end, I just lose the game.
And you're taking 6 a turn.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have even that many draws that you're giving yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you should have given yourself 1.
Maybe 1, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, maybe I should have cast that Riverwinder. Yeah, that would have to take some damage to do so. I probably should have fetched that land, because then I could have just slammed that 7-drop attack for 4, said go, and then I could just block your things. Like, you'd get the Fury, you'd kill that, but I'd have a 5/5, and you couldn't really attack all out, because then you have to... I guess you can still block with Fury, so I don't know. You'd be in a good spot regardless, but...
A worse spot, though.
Huh?
A worse spot.
A worse spot. Agreed. Okay, I will go first on our 3rd game here. Probably our last one of this round, and then we'll move on. Rob, you got any questions while we shuffle up?
Yeah. How many decks do you kind of consider tier 1 in this modern metagame? Is it just the 6 you played the other day, or do you think it just kind of varies?
I'm not even sure if all 6 from Tuesday would be considered tier 1. I think that was high tier 2 and tier 1. So, honestly, if I'm being really strict, it's just 2 decks in tier 1.
Yeah.
It's Grixis and Hammer.
Yeah, those are the S tier decks to me. I would put Murktide and Omnath as like, just good decks, but I agree. Like just the top of the food chain decks that are in their own league right now are Death Shadow and Hammer.
Given popularity,
Said Food Chain's a legacy deck, Corey.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I might have Omnath up there too because it's just quite popular.
Yeah,
and popularity. When I think of tier 1 or tiers, I'm always thinking of popularity because it's the decks that I am, most focused on when I'm choosing a deck and tuning it for an event.
I'd put Murktide up there too. Then if we're putting Omnath, because I don't even think Omnath is a good deck. A lot of people play it, so it has a lot of results. Like it's in a lot of modern challenges because that deck, just like Death Shadow and Hammer, and honestly, is it to some extent? That's kind of why we had Is It at 4. It's just popular and still wins. Yeah, but I would say those 4-ish.
And I'll say 3. So you got 3 to 4 in tier 1.
Yeah. All right, let's battle. I'll go first. Well, this isn't great, but I'm going to try it.
My hand is also not great, and I'm not going to try it.
Okay, fair enough.
The 2 schools of magic.
This hand is really, really iffy, though, I will say. Yikes. But I have high hopes.
My guess is it's a 1-lander.
Okay.
Maybe it has the Sunken Ruins as a second land.
Ooh. Yeah, I could cast all my spells then. Kind of forgot about Sunken Ruin.
Oh, whoever figured out the 1 Sunken Ruins in that deck, that's just great.
It's a good one. I'd like to cast my Griefs, please. Thank you very much.
Suspend my living in.
Yeah, there we go, yeah. All right.
If I had been playing against Live Again like 6 months ago, when it was first really emerging, and somebody just went turn 4, like Sunken Ruins, Hardcast Grief, I would be so mad.
Yeah.
Just so
God dang it, you got me.
I would be furious.
Yeah, you're always pretty furious, though, so that doesn't
Maybe last
specify.
after they take the fury from my hand.
Okay, there we go. All right, I hope you have a worse hand.
It is better.
Okay.
Obvious card to put back is obvious.
Obvious card is obvious, huh?
I will lead on
It's not your turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on now. I'll lead on this, and I'll pass to you.
Okay, I'll lead on Forest, Sprawl.
In response, cycle. Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna fetch in case I draw more fetches. I don't want to draw more lands.
Okay.
So I'll go to 19. I'll name red on the Sprawl.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm veil proof. I'm going to grief you.
Oh, I'm dead.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, I kind of don't want to play against that Blood Moon card. Seems like the one I have to take. I'll play this, and I'll pass to you.
Really wish Fury had Flash.
Want to just evoke it now for fun?
I kind of do. Like, Bone Crusher Giant is not winning this game.
Yeah, that's pretty clear.
Whereas Fury could at least like give you pause and make you want to put more stuff on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And maybe give me time to find an endurance, or maybe give me time to do other stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna evoke Fury.
That resolves.
Probably would have Foothills past turn.
Okay, end step, I'll sack. And I think I want a Steam Vents here.
So you're at 19 or 17?
Yep. 17, and I'll cycle this whale.
Talk about how bad your hand is. Have the same exact draw you've had every other game.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Untap, draw. All right, I'll play this land, and I'll pass to you. Upkeep.
Okay. Corey's just now noticing that I have 3 mana untapped.
Violent Outburst.
Cascade trigger resolves.
I'll cast it.
Resolves.
Okay. I was like, you're going to endurance me, aren't you? Okay. I will grief you.
I'll show you another land.
Okay.
Kill your grief.
Okay. Could have did it during draw step for max value, but, yellow.
And before I draw, I'll crack this.
Okay.
Get another forest. I'm at 18.
Yep. But my draw was pretty bad. Outside of that. To be fair, I needed the 3rd land, so the whale had to hit that. If that makes you feel better.
I mean, you have a million cards to find it in. You're cycling on turn 1. You're seeing 2 extra cards on turn 2.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have another black card for grief either. But
So in 2 draws, you found a black card, and then in 3 more draws, you found the land.
yeah. Not bad.
Not a lot of black cards in the deck.
Yeah, not a ton. Living End is like the best card to exile to grief when you happen to draw them,
Go.
Okay. Bang.
And we'll go to 7.
Okay. 12. I got you at 6.
You're right.
All right.
That should be at 6.
Cheater. Yeah.
Oh, well, that kills me.
I'm going to cycle. And I'm going to break that foundation. Then I'll pass to you.
Have no outs.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to play around, is you casting another Fury, but it doesn't even do that much.
Yeah, not with me, because I had to go to 5 to cast it, so I can't double block the Waker of Waves.
Yeah, you could, right?
Like Camda, then I take lethal because I'm a 5.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to fetch again.
Oh, you had to fetch, yep, okay. Yeah, I still had Force available, too, which was not bad. Well, yeah, I think this seems like a tough matchup.
Yeah,
seems
there's
like
not a lot I can do if you do your thing, and I don't have a lot of ways to stop you from doing your thing.
Yeah, Living End really is kind of one of these super polarizing decks as well. It fits that mold of Dredge to me. And it's like, it's not even polarizing in matchups, it's just polarizing in hate. Like, if you had that Endurance there, the game's over. Because Living End has to go on the stack, then you put everything on the bottom, and you get a Fury. So then you start with both those cards, and I have nothing, and I just helped you out immensely.
Yep.
Yeah. But, I had to go for it. I did nothing else.
One unknown card, and
exactly.
You don't have many ways to play around Fury, so it's actually it's generally Corey has fewer cards that stop Fury or stop Endurance in his deck than I have Endurances.
Yeah.
So the more he's waiting, the more unlikely the more unlikely it is for him to get into a situation where he has the answer versus me having the.
Well, it's impossible. I mean, my only answer is a white card that has to be my opener.
Yeah, you can't even cast him.
Got to be Leyline. Yeah.
So you actually have zero at that point.
Yeah.
Even,
I'm surprised this deck doesn't play more Leylines. It must Burn not be that bad of a matchup, because it's one of the decks where it's like excellent against Burn too. I feel
your Griefs and Forces are pretty good against them, and
that's true.
Turn 3 Living End usually puts a pretty good clock down.
Yeah. Just get 2 7/7. That probably is a good matchup, huh?
Yeah, it seems close.
Yeah.
But, not one that you need like super dedicated hate for.
That makes sense. Okay, everyone. Well, today is this kind of tier 2 or at least decks that we have a lot of faith in, that we think can punch through any given tournament if you're prepared, if decks aren't prepared, kind of thing. So we got 4 more decks that we think are in that vein. We're going to be bringing you that next matchup here right after this. We're going to take a short 5-minute break, and then we'll see you soon. All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
I'm Ross Merriam.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and zaburns in the chat. So make sure to tag at Star City Games, and he will get his favorite one sent over to us. We're doing a little tier 2 day. We're playing, I wouldn't say jank, because these are not jank decks, but Modern is such a huge field that it's not just a format where 6 decks are playable. If we're in Standard, we're talking about the top 6 decks. That's all of them. That's all of the decks. But in Modern, there's usually about 14, 15 different decks that I think could top 8 a Modern challenge. That's kind of the the limit I could put. Could this deck possibly top 8 a Modern tournament where people are trying? And I really do think all of these decks can. They all have things to do. Your deck, for instance, I think is probably on the upper end of these 6. Yeah. The normal Yawgmoth. Maybe the Abzan one is a little different, but just Yawgmoth is a very tough to deal with combo deck, but it's not so good of a combo deck and so resilient of a combo deck that I think it is tier 1. I've beat that deck down by just having more fatal pushes in my sideboard, to just kill Yawgmoth and stuff like that. So I don't think it's like an amazing creature combo deck. But I do think it's good. And same with the one I'm playing. I think this is the deck I like the most out of all 6 as far as these. Is it Breach? This top forward a challenge by Dr. Jiggy Wiggy, I believe is their name. They were in my chat, which was a hilarious name. But, I was playing Money Pile because I wanted to just mix it up instead of Grixis Death Shadow. Hating my life, went 3-3. It was not a great tournament for me. But they were in my chat the whole time. They're just like, yep, 6-0, 7-0, 8-0. And they ran the tables up into the top 8. Won the top 8 match and lost in the top 4 to Canister, I think. But anyways, the deck just looks really good to me, and a lot of people have been picking it up since then. This deck even cracked, Reed Duke has a power rankings thing. This even cracked that as far as 15 decks go. So I think this is kind of the new hotness. But it's another deck that is very susceptible to graveyard hate. So when there's a ton of that, it's a little rough. But it does have a little bit of a separate game plan it can play with DRCs and Regavans that it can win without just a combo. And Urza Saga, that's a big part in attacking.
It's definitely a very powerful, versatile deck.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a deck that opens itself up to essentially every single angle of attack.
Yeah.
Your opponents can play Graveyard Hate, that's effective against you. Creature removal is effective against you.
Yep.
Chalice of the Void is effective against you. Artifact removal is effective against you. So almost every deck, incidentally, is just going to have a lot of good sideboard cards against you.
Yeah.
The question actually becomes like, what is the limit? How many sideboard cards can they bring in, and which ones are the right ones? Is it right to attack with Graveyard Hate or with Disenchant effects or with creature removal? How much or is it a blend? What is the blend? So that's something that the people who are playing this deck right now are probably gaining an advantage on the field with. Their opponents just don't have as much experience in the matchup as they do, and don't have enough experience overall to create a really strong game plan and the best sideboard plan.
Yeah.
So that if you want to jump on this deck, you probably want to do it right now so you can continue to take advantage of the time where that's true, because eventually people will get enough reps in and they'll know their deck well enough and know what the appropriate plan for their deck is, and you're going to lose that edge over time.
That's the thing, though. I agree, those are really good points you're making, but I don't know what piece of hate is the worst against me, and I've played 2.5 leagues with this deck, and that's more than most decks that we play, because you can't play 2 leagues with every single deck we play. We wouldn't be doing anything but playing leagues. But this is one I've played a decent amount with, and it's Rest in Peace used to always be just the card, or Leyline of the Void was just the card to shut this down, but now with Urza Saga and Ragavan, it's I can kind of just beat through that, but then Dress Down's really good, it shuts down all my creatures, but you can just combo through it, so you can just, whatever hate they're aiming at you, you do something else. And that's the one thing I love about Grixis Death Shadow right now is there's no perfect hate. Chalice is the best, and it's the toughest thing to deal with. But then, you do go to Dress Down Croxus strategies. You can try to K-Command and stuff like that. But mostly if they Rest in Peace or they just try to kill all your creatures, you do a different thing with that deck. And it has that kind of versatility in the face of hate is the reason why I like it, you know? Yeah.
And then on my side, I am playing Yawgmoth, as Corey said, but this is a list that Top 8 did last weekend, or very close to it. Yeah. I didn't like that they went down to 2 Ignoble Hierarchs, because I think the deck's a little clunky, and you want all the mana creatures, so I changed a couple cards. Okay. I think I also added another fetch land to the mana base, so you have more access to white mana. Splashing.
Always add a land when you copy it.
I didn't add a land, I just swapped a land for a fetch. Okay. I swapped a Golgari dual land, a Blooming Marsh for a fetch land, so I'd have an additional source of white mana.
Gotcha. Cool.
And so this is still very close to that list. Only 2 white cards in the main, and it's Knight of Autumn, which is an interesting card for a toolboxy deck. Obviously, just having a Disenchanter is nice, but in this deck, gaining 4 life sometimes means drawing 4 cards.
Yeah.
So you really take advantage of that gain 4 life mode as well. And then the real impressive one is Luminous Broodmoth.
Finally made it to Modern, y'all. We were hyped on that card for previous season for that, and it did nothing.
I slapped you up with it 3 or 4 times.
You did. I remember that. I got the Broodmoth. I got slapped up by that moth.
So we spent a lot of time that previous season being like, this card is really good, and then it's no play at all.
None. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
But here, it sort of acts as a 5th Yawgmoth. It's not a Yawgmoth by itself. So it doesn't give you, 13 of them if you include the tutors. But what it does is it protects your Yawgmoth, because if you play Broodmoth and then play Yawgmoth, they can't Fatal Push the Yawgmoth and break up the combo, because Yawgmoth will just come back with a flying counter.
Yep.
So it's sort of a flag bearer of sorts that protects your, or a spell skite for people who aren't as old as I am. Flag bearers from Apocalypse, by the way.
Yeah, I did not.
Do you have any idea what it does?
Not a clue.
No clue.
I'm gonna guess it protects the creature in some way.
It is a 1 and a white 1/1. Yeah. And its ability says that if an opponent would cast a spell that targets only a single creature that you control, it has to target Flagbearer.
Okay.
So their next removal spell just has to target it.
Okay.
And so the
selfless savior for you Zoomers out there. Yeah.
So that's what it does, to protect Yawgmoth, which is really important. But it also works well with Yawgmoth It works to supercharge the combo.
Yeah.
'Cause now you sacrifice an Undying creature, and you have the Broodmoth trigger and the Undying trigger go on the stack. You could pick, it doesn't matter which one you pick. You pick one to resolve first. Let's say you pick the Undying trigger to resolve first. Now it comes back with a +1/+1 counter on it, but still doesn't have a flying counter.
Yeah.
You can sacrifice it again, so you don't need a second Undying creature. You can just sacrifice the first one again. Now the Undying won't trigger because it had a +1/+1 counter, but Yawgmoth will trigger, and it'll come back without the +1/+1 counter, but with the flying counter. Then sacrifice it again, and you'll keep triggering one of them each time.
You know what? You know what I envision in this? It's like if we had like message bubbles ahead of our head, it would be you with that like numbers flashing in front of the dude from The Hangover, you know?
Oh yeah.
And it's just me like up here, like Homer brain, just with pie, be like, pie, like not paying attention to your long description, and you're just going deep, and then you carry the 4. Like,
and then we've got a couple creatures in the sideboard, you know, as hate bears. Tocatli Honor Guard, not particularly good for this matchup, but Drannith Magistrate does shut down Underworld Breach.
yeah.
So that's just another piece of permanent based hate that I'll have.
Yeah, I have to kill it
for
first
sideboard.
and then go off, huh?
Yep.
Yep. That seems tough.
And it's a lot of the time, you know, the card that you're killing is something that isn't stopping the graveyard, so you can Underworld Breach, then like Unholy Heat from the yard
Yeah.
to, you know, start the combo. With Magistrate, you can't do that.
Yep,
You gotta
can't
have
do
it
that.
all in your hand.
Or I can have an Urza Saga go to 3 and like spell bomb you or something, but there's ways. There's ways, and hopefully we'll find them. I'm guessing you want to go first, good sir?
I will go on the play.
Okay, that was an awful card to draw. Ooh, but the rest, so good.
I
Ish.
think this hand is just good enough. Hopefully I get a little bit of help.
Yeah, I think this hand is just good enough as well. It is. It's not amazing.
Okay, I will lead on Birds of Paradise.
Birds. Okay. Oh well, that was insane. Okay, that was a draw. By far best possible. So I'll take 2.
So you're at 17.
Yep. All right. And this is one thing that this deck can do that Grixis Death Shadow can't, which I love. Ragavan, Mox, DRC, go. Being able to play both is pretty spicy.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Believe it or not, I top decked the Mox.
Believe it or not, I top decked a card that doesn't help. But I will play Swamp and Night of Autumn and blow up your Mox.
Okay.
Also attempt to block a Ragavan.
That was pretty mean of you.
Pass the turn.
All right. I would like to draw a way to kill that creature, please. So I have an Urza's Saga. Shepta 1. All right, I'll play Spellbomb, trigger.
Want to bounce my Knight so your Ragavan can get in?
I might. I guess it does destroy this, doesn't it? Yeah, that's not great.
I'd honestly, I'd be okay with it.
Okay, would you? I don't want that. And yeah, I'll attack.
Block Ragavan.
Good call. Good call.
Take
Take
one.
1. You go to 19. And then I'll pass to you. 1 away from
Land artifact
Delirium. Yep.
creature. So if Corey doesn't have it next turn, he'll have it the turn after with the Urza Saga.
Yep.
Let's crack a Windswept Teeth, go to 18,
Okay.
get a forest and play a birds,
Okay.
and then I will pass the turn.
Okay. Guess you're trying to cord me. Cord for 1. Doesn't seem great. Maybe you just don't have anything, I suppose. I'm going to sack this to just draw a card. My hand's not very good, so. Untap.
Yep.
Draw. Trigger.
It's not a very appealing construct here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Corey
Do something
decline
else. All right. Trigger. I don't want that.
Probably an awkward Urza Saga because it's getting in the way of Corey's classic turn 3 expressive iteration. And
It really is.
playing iterations deck, so I know he has one.
It really is pretty rough right now. I'll have to agree.
It may not work every time, but assuming Corey's hand is the best possible, it works a surprising amount of the time.
That's pretty true. Okay, I'm going to take 2. I'll go to 15. And land, creature, artifact. So I could attack, and if you have Young Wolf, if you cord for Young Wolf, it's like whatever. But it's really not worth it to risk it. So yeah, I'll pass to you.
Untap.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect draws every time.
I'm starting to think it wasn't the perfect draw.
I will play Nurturing Peatland.
Sacrifice.
I will sacrifice it.
Okay.
That's an interesting one. I will cast Luminous Broodmoth with my 2 Birds of Paradise.
Yes. That's awesome. Well, I can kill your birdies.
Yeah.
Yep, that resolves.
Pass the turn.
All right, end step. I'll make a construct. Just debating if I want to bobble. If I don't bobble, I get 2 artifacts from this, and I could attack through Broodmoth, which is kind of appealing, I guess. It's also pretty awkward that I have to attack with DRC. I guess no, I don't. I'm gonna get something that'll help me out with that. And if I'm gonna get that, I still want to be able to attack. Okay, I'm gonna untap. I'm gonna draw chapter 3. I will make a construct. We got a plan. All right, chapter. I think I'm gonna get drum.
Drum.
Keeps DRC able to not just attack into Broodmoth and die. All right, then I got a Saga. And I have a Grinding Station. Trigger Surveil.
Yep.
Don't want Ragavan. I'll attack for 5.
I will take 5, go to 13.
And I'll pass to you and hope I'm not dead.
Playing Urborg.
Okay.
Playing Ignoble Hierarch.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right, end step, I'll bobble you. Okay. Untap, draw a bobble.
Yep.
Draw for my turn.
Yep.
Chapter 2.
Am I dead?
Yes. If you don't have anything. I'm going to go for it. Want me to just do things?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'll respond to the breach.
Okay, let me...
I don't think wait, do I? No, 4 endurances in the sideboard.
Yep. I'll attempt to cast it. Trigger Surveil.
Yeah. Surveil's fine. I have the cord. I'm just not sure what I can cord for. I'm pretty sure there's nothing relevant here. I needed 1 more turn to get a Yawgmoth and untap and draw a bunch of cards.
You mean this Yawgmoth?
Well,
Yeah.
You're going to get a Yawgmoth on the end step.
Yeah, because you don't. The problem is you have a lot of flowers. You know, like you get this twice, I guess, right? But that doesn't really do much.
The problem is, I'm just completely tapped out of resources. I need to untap and find something else.
Yeah.
But had I drawn this Yawgmoth last turn instead of another land, I think I would have won.
Yeah, the Night of Autumn is really the only thing, right?
I guess I would not have won because I wouldn't have been able to go Yawgmoth into Cord, which is awkward. So, yeah, I'm dead.
But you could have, if you didn't draw your Night of Autumn, like that's what you could have corded for, right? With this.
Yeah, just respond to your first spell.
Yeah, and I guess I could play around that if I had a second thing.
Second breach.
Yeah, but with how it works, I would only get 1 activation. I'd get to bring back 1 bobble. You'd blow it up. and then combo stops. I didn't have, I drew the Oracle, but still would able to get you.
Yeah, I guess you need to find an Emery to get a bunch of mana, start getting blue mana off the mocks.
Yeah.
That's easy enough.
Or Regavan.
But that gets you red mana, which is...
But I have 2 blue right there, so I actually just don't even need mana. I just bobble over and over.
Sure.
Yep. Didn't actually need the land, so... All right, that's going to do it for the first one. Underworld Breach, looking kind of nice. And you drawing a lot of lands. Not as nice.
I kept Knight, Cord, Mana Creature, 4 lands.
Yeah, that seems fine.
And then drew like land, Mana Creature,
yeah,
land.
Yeah,
That's my first 4 draw steps.
That is the one problem with creature combo as well, is like you need a lot of... All creature combos have like birds and stuff. So you can just draw badly. You counter that one combo piece. But I mean, it's similar to this,
Yeah,
but,
you don't have as much of that like early card selection, the cheap cantrips and expressive iterations. You get your consistency from things like Court of Calling and like tutors.
Yeah, this is the best expressive iteration deck. I keep saying that about every deck I play, and like it was Death Shadow before this.
So.
Yeah, this one just has so many 0 drops that you can legitimately, if you have like 2 or 3 expressive iterations, cast that on turn 2. Like, there's a solid chance you still get full value, and if not, whatever. You already had a few extras, but if you only have 1, you still probably wait till turn 3. But all right, that's going to do it for our first game. We're going to head to the sideboard, and I'm sure Ross is going to be bringing in a bunch of cards. Yay! See you soon.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Yawgmoth. And is it Breach? On my side, a lot of cards coming in. There's just a ton of interaction. Like we said, every interaction point works against this Breach deck, and so a sideboard that's full of interactive cards is going to have a lot of options. I'm actually not bringing in my Thoughtseizes against a combo deck, which is quite strange, but I don't think I can bring in 13 cards, and I think dealing with the things that are on the battlefield or in the graveyard is more important. In particular, I like Endurance and Force of Vigor quite a bit because I can tap out for a Yawgmoth and then draw into them and be able to interact with Corey. Had I had that option last game, I likely would have won the game because I could have gotten Yawgmoth onto the battlefield and drawn
like 6 cards or something. Yeah.
5.
5, yeah.
So I have 5 draws to essentially a 7-outer. Presumably, I'll have another green card in there as well.
Yep.
Another disenchant effect, and then the Drannith Magistrate I mentioned before the match started. Easiest card to cut was Grist, just not the kind of interaction that we're looking for in this matchup. Then I'm cutting all of the sort of, silver bullets that help you really combo harder. Corey doesn't really interact with my combo that much, so I don't need to combo super hard, especially because of the dynamic I mentioned, where my Yawgmoth can just draw me into pieces of interaction. So I'm cutting the Cutthroat, the Patra, Broodmoth, and Gilded Goose. And then of the normal cards I'm going to cut, I'm just kind of trimming around the edges. 1 Undying Creature. I like keeping more Strangleroot in, especially on the play when I'm not as worried about blocking Ragavan. Because of Eldritch Evolution, Strangleroot can find Yawgmoth. Young Wolf cannot. Though I am cutting 1 Evolution. I think it's the weaker of the 2 tutors, because I can respond to an Underworld Breach or respond to certain things with Cord, and then cutting 1 Mana Creature games are going to slow down here. So
maybe that's why they didn't play that extra Ignoble Hierarch. Maybe they were right the whole time. They were pre-cut. Yeah,
I have 4. They had 2. So
okay.
I still have more than they have.
Fair. Okay. So from my end, a super small amount of stuff. I don't have a lot for Yawgmoth. Dragon's Claw is not good. Spreading Seas is pretty bad against you. I could bring in Bolts and maybe Pierces, but just not great. I want to just keep my deck true to what it is, and I want an answer to an actual creature instead of Spell Pierce. Be like, go for Yawgmoth instead of Cord, and I have a Spell Pierce. It feels pretty silly. So going with Metallic Rebuke and hope that that is enough. Taking out the Spell Bomb and 1 Shadow Sphere. I do not care about trying to get through damage. Neither of us are winning with damage. I think that's not our focus. And then the Spell Bomb I'll probably need desperately, and then it won't be in my deck, and I will curse it 5 minutes from now, but for now it doesn't seem as necessary, and I'll hope I don't lose the game because of it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I hope that happens.
You hope it happens. I bet. All right, Rob, what do you got over there? Anybody saying any good words?
They're words.
Okay, we'll take some words. They don't have to be good words.
Roz, do you think it would be valuable to play some amount of endurances in this Yawgmoth deck in the main just because of the meta, or do you think that's too much?
I mean, if you're going to play some number of the main, the number is 1.
1, yeah. Because of tutor target.
Yeah, you have 8 tutors. So if your metagame is particularly graveyard heavy, I could understand playing 1. This white build is using up a little bit of additional space with those, with the Knight of Autumn and Broodmoth.
Yeah.
So in this particular build, there's not really room for it, but in a straight Golgari build, there probably is.
Yeah, that would be nice. Just like Living End, Living End, and you just chord for the 1 of Endurance. Like, get out of here. That's game.
And they make you sacrifice all your undying creatures.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and you have Broodmoth out there. Be like, which way should they come back? All right. Guessing you want to go first?
I will indeed.
Okay. Let's see what we're cooking with here. All right.
I'll keep.
Yeah, my hand's keepable. I'm in.
Oh, that's awkward.
Awkward.
I'll go to 18 and play Young Wolf.
So young.
Pass the turn.
Lucky for me, I have the other 1-drop that's not as bad against Young Wolf. I just have that, though, and I'll pass.
I'll go to 17 for a swamp and play Wall of Roots.
Okay.
And then I will attack for 1.
Yeah, not going to block that. I'll go to 19.
Pass the turn.
Okay. I'll untap.
I have a swamp, right? Yeah,
Maybe,
it was on top of my deck.
Okay.
It's like, I built this deck. I'm pretty sure I built a swamp.
Let's see what we want to do here. I think it's just this, even though it's not a great play. I gotta decide which one of my lands too. Like now I just have to be so much more conscious of force and always be thinking like, okay, do I want to get 2 for 2'd or 2 for 1'd if you just hard cast it? And I also got to think what my next turn wants to be if I want to play this land. Yeah, I think I'm not quite ready for that. So I am going to sacrifice this, take 3.
17 all.
Yeah, I'll go to 17. Or I'm at 16. You attack me for 1.
Indeed.
Okay, and then I will cast.
Grinding Station, trigger, DRC.
Yep. Don't want to land, and I'll pass to you.
So you just have 1 type in there.
1 type.
So Corey could throw away the Grinding Station in order to try to ambush the Young Wolf. He would have to hit 2 types that aren't land or artifact. But I'd still be trading for the Grinding Station, which is great. So
Yeah.
I'll attack for 1.
I'll take it.
You go to 15.
Yep.
I'm going to go to 15 for another Overgrown Tomb, and then I will play Drawless Messenger.
Okay, I'll go to 12. Or I'll go to 13.
So we got 13 to 15.
Mathematics.
Pass the turn.
Okay. I will draw. Now I think I just want to do multiple things here and try to not die to the combo next turn if I can help it. So I got a Saga. I'm going to cast DRC.
Yep.
Pithing Needle, double triggers. Don't need another Grinding Station. Don't want a Regavan. Does it resolve?
Yep.
I'm going to name Yawgmoth. Believe it or not.
You'll have to be more specific.
The Yawgmoth that costs 4 mana as protection from humans. We don't have to name the specific cards anymore
Also, is
now.
there only 1 Yawgmoth?
I think there's one.
Probably
I
two,
think there was
yeah.
one printed earlier, like long time in the 90s.
Gotcha. And then I don't think I can attack.
Maybe I'm wrong.
So I'll pass to you.
Attack.
I'm going to Unholy Heat this. Triggers.
Sure.
1. I'll leave that.
So this comes back with a counter on it. You lose 2.
Yep, I'm at 11. And... Yep, I'll block.
Okay, Young Wolf comes back with a counter on it.
Yep. Yeah, it is +1/+1 counter, right?
Yep. Okay. I'll play an Endurance.
That's what I was not hoping to see. Okay, so
those go in the bottom of your library.
and then this dies.
And yeah, the DRC the block dies. Then I'll play a tap Temple Garden
Okay.
and pass the turn.
All right. Untap, draw. Chapter 2. Now, I actually don't want to have to attack, so I'm going to move to second main phase.
Yep.
Emery. Trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Perfect. Hit 0 artifacts and didn't hit Delirium.
Yep. Love it. Urza Saga. And yeah, pass to you.
So it's a 3/3 construct at this point.
It would be, yep.
That's also nice.
Not bad, not bad.
A smoosh with Messenger and Endurance.
All right, I'll make a construct.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll just block. Draw Messenger.
Okay, take 3.
Yeah, down to 8.
2 to 8. I will play Verdant Catacombs and Birds of Paradise.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn.
Untap. Draw. Chapter 3, Chapter 2. Now it doesn't necessarily pay to for sure get a construct with this when I have another one. I essentially don't have to do that. So I could just float the mana here.
If your hand was land Mox Amber, then it would pay.
Then it would pay, but it is not. So I'll float mana and trigger this. Okay. Now, what do I want? That does give me Delirium. I already got the Needle. So I could do like Mox. Or Bobble. That's really all I got. So yeah, we'll get the land.
Interesting. With
Yeah.
Emery on board, didn't want to go for the bauble.
Yeah, that would be pretty good too. Not the absolute worst because I can do some gross things with this. So
And you can get a bauble next turn.
yeah.
You're only sacrificing 1 card here, really.
Okay, blue red. I still have a colorless floating. Trigger Surveil.
Yep.
I don't need to prioritize land. Trigger. Oops. Card is not that good. All right, we're gonna put a Mox in exile. This into my hand. God, this card is so bad. All right, this into my hand. Ragavan, not good right now. Okay, so this is in the yard.
Honestly, just not a very good card in the matchup.
It really isn't. Young Wolf is extremely good against it.
As is Wall of Roots.
All right, so I am going to sack Mox, target myself. That was on top. Good job, Corey. All right, trigger Surveil.
I guess you could have played the second Mox Amber first, gotten a peek at the top to see if you wanted to mill with Grinding Station or not.
Yeah. All right,
So
I'll bin Oracle.
A very tiny misstep that Corey was punished by.
Yep, a little bit. Okay, with that floating mana,
Yeah, still has the colorless from that first Urza Saga.
Yep, I'll make a construct.
That one is now 4/4.
It's slightly large.
Yeah.
All right, I'll target this Mox. Bring this back. Trigger Surveil. Don't want this. Untap. And that is all I can do.
Probably have to attack with DRC.
Oh, yeah. I definitely do. I'll attack.
I will take 3, go to 12.
Okay, I had you at 17, but I probably missed some stuff.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'll pass to you.
I'll play Urborg.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right, exciting stuff. I'll untap. Draw. Chapter 3. I'll make a construct.
Yep.
Search.
Yep.
I'm gonna get Bobble. Yeah. Trigger grinding station. Not gonna do anything with it. All right. I'll play the Spire Bluff Canal. I love that little combo where you get rid of your third land and play a land. What could you have? All right, I'm gonna Unholy Heat trigger. Declare attacks.
Yep.
Here they come. For 9 total.
Yeah, block a construct.
Okay.
Go to 9.
All right. Second main, I'll bubble you. We got the goods. Okay, excellent. And I will target Bobble. Bobble, trigger Surveil. Then I might want to...
Metallic Rebuke.
Yep, exactly. I'll pass to you.
Okay. If Corey had bobbled me, I would have fetched to take away the information. But, well, maybe the lack of bobble is trying to induce me not to fetch because you know the top card.
Mind games.
Because to me, it's a random card.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, I'm gonna fetch.
Yeah, good thought process, because I was doing that exactly to hope you draw that Birds of Paradise. So good call on Ross there. Then after that, I'll fetch. I was like, if you just draw birds, I don't care that I don't have a Metallic Rebuke. But if you shuffle, then I want to maximize my draws out of Metallic Rebuke. Even if it might not even be good because you got a lot of mana now. But
yep. I will go to 8 from that fetch.
Okay, and then I'm gonna have 2 bobble triggers on your upkeep, and I'm gonna see what you're gonna draw, unless you're courting or something. But
I am not.
Yeah, I mean that'd be drawing good cards. You haven't done that with Yawgmoth in a couple years, huh?
It's been a while.
What do you got? Okay. Dang it. All right, so draw bobble.
Now, what can I even get?
Yeah. It's like Yawgmoth normally would be good, but we got this, so now you...
I could get another Endurance, which would shrink the DRC, stop the Emery, but then I'm still under a ton of pressure from these constructs.
And I just get to, like, do this, right? Like, mill, bring it back, mill. Like, I get to flip over the top 6 cards, plus Surveil twice, after you Endurance. Like, I'm not afraid of Endurance at all.
Well, I could Endurance on in combat.
True. I can only do it once in combat, but yeah. I agree. That's not bad.
You know, a single disenchant doesn't seem like it does a whole lot.
Yeah, because of Emery. I'm pretty insulated from Knight on this and hoping you draw it again. Like, this is kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of the match. It's like there's a lot of different angles now. Like, no one piece of hate is tough for, like Dress Down is probably your best card, but
certainly helps that I have
here we go.
Maybe half a time in this game.
You mean this day? You Fury'd a couple things in match 1.
Yeah. I kind of like the endurance line. I don't like the augment line. Even trying to rip needles doesn't seem to get me anywhere.
Yeah.
Trying to get you with endurance into top deck force for the to clean up the construct seems like my way back into this game.
Yeah.
So I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I'll untap. Draw. I will expressive iteration, trigger surveil.
Yep.
Both are so bad. That is the one thing. Expressive iteration, while it's amazing in this deck, it's just a lot of my cards are functionally not great, you know? Okay. Then I'm going to play a land and you're at 8?
9.
You're at 9.
Oh, no. Yeah, I didn't record the fetch. I'm at 8. You're right.
Okay, so these are 5/5s. I could make them 6/6, but then I lose out on surveil stuff. Okay, I think I have an idea of what I want to do. Target bobble.
Sure.
Play bobble. Trigger. Yeah, I'll keep that. Move to declare attackers.
Sure.
All right, here they come.
I'm gonna put a counter on a wall. Use it. And cord for 3.
Okay. Yep, that resolves.
I will get endurance and target you.
Okay. Just puts them on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Hey, that would have been a good plan. Could have gotten the Draneth Magistrate, but all that shuts down his Emery.
Yeah. Okay, so my stuff's at the bottom.
I would like to declare some blocks.
Yep.
Currently, these are 6/6 constructs.
Yeah.
Okay, I will block DRC and chump 1 construct with Dried Arbor.
So you're taking 6.
Yeah, I would like to go to 2.
Yeah, like I could try to mill, but even if I hit Delirium, it just doesn't do anything. So, yeah, I guess sure.
Yeah, I'm a 2.
Okay. Then I'll play bobble. I'll bobble you. Okay. Well, I think you're just dead then. I'll bobble you again. Play Ragavan. And pass to you. Draw 2 cards.
Okay, upkeep, I'll crack this Subridden. Go to
Okay.
1.
Gotcha. It was a good one.
Yeah, it was Blooming Marsh, everybody.
I didn't even see you at a fetch line. I'm not going to lie. I thought that was also a Blooming Marsh. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said that.
Yep, I was pretty sure Corey did not know that I had another bet. So I'm a 1.
Okay.
Need to draw Force of Vigor.
Yep. Yeah, Force of Vigor would definitely keep you alive. I mean, you can still just live. Oh, I guess you need a creature. I could attack with Emery. You need something.
Oh,
Yep.
that's a piece.
Of course, right? I wasn't comboing you anytime, but I do love that the game ended, one time with just the combo looking good, and then Urza Saga is the other one. You want to play a pity game?
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Okay. But like that is the one thing I hoped happened, because this deck can win the same way, just as well as it can by just comboing every time. But like being able to, win in multiple different ways shows the versatility that I think this deck really has. That when I played Breach at Nationals before, the world ended, like back in February of 2020, I think that was the last SCG tour kind of event.
Regionals was the first weekend of March.
Okay, yeah. So when I played that and just did terrible with Breach, while Shaheen went on to win with the same 75, it's like, okay, he played against not the right amount of hate. I played against a good amount of hate. Maybe played worse too, because I think Shaheen knew that deck quite well. But it was very much dependent on, you have a Cage or you had a Stody Silence. Cool, the game's over. Now you can just win in a little bit different ways, mainly because there is a Saga. I think that's kind of the main one.
DRC and Rogovan certainly help there, but those two by themselves would not be enough to carry an aggressive game plan.
Yeah, and I think Ragavan helps. DRC doesn't, because if you get the right amount of graveyard hate, it's going to shut down DRC too. That's the one thing that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, just swinging for 6 on turn 4, it's still pretty solid. Maybe even sooner.
Yeah, and that's actually an important point. You need if you're going to incorporate a secondary aggressive game plan in a combo deck that's using the graveyard, you can't play threats that also get shut down by the same graveyard.
Yeah.
Tarmogoyf wouldn't really do as much. I guess Tarmogoyf's a little bit different, but if Rest in Peace were the big thing, then Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, it's like if I'm up against Blue-Eye Control, I might trim DRC a little bit because the combo's enough for the graveyard. I know you're going to bring in either Chalice or Rest in Peace, and that falls into both of them. So that might not be good. So no, that's a good example. Okay, Rob, do you got a question at all before we start this up?
Not right now.
Not at all. Empty queue if you got a question out there. How's your hand? It's cards.
Just trying to think about how this hand is going to play out, and it's just clunky. And once I set up Yawgmoth, if I get a chance to do that, I'm not even doing a whole lot because I have no undying creatures. So I'm going to mulligan.
I'm going to keep. It is. It's okay, but it's very good against some hands and very bad against others, and we'll see which one you have. Naturally, it'll be the one that's good against, That's
what I'm expecting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a good week for Team Corey so far on Versus Live this week. Not so much for Team Ross.
Well, every time you say your hand needs help, it ends up being perfect.
Or I get the help.
And every time I say my hand needs help, I got lands.
You draw some. Hey, I mean, sometimes I needed lands, and I get lands, bud.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's the difference. I don't keep a lot. I just mulligan a 1-lander.
Yeah.
1-land triple birds.
What's I know I should probably know this, but what's mulliganing again? I forget. That's one of the rules that I don't use that often, like banding and stuff. It's in that vein, like it's something like banding, right?
I'll talk to you during the break.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna keep.
Okay. Yeah, that reminds me. Even Seth shared an article today where he was just like, "You should be mulliganing less with decks." It's like a big, no way this came from Seth. Okay, that was an awful draw. But I'm gonna start by bobbling you. Okay, and it's a decent one to know about, I guess. I'll go to 17. I'll play Ragavan. And I'll say go and draw a bubble.
Urborg, go.
Yeah, the endurance is good to know about here because, well, believe it or not, I'm not going to be able to attack. Okay, let's play the very common play of take 1.
You're at 16.
This is a very common line in this deck. Is turn 1 Ragavan, not attack with it, and then turn 2 play Thassa's Oracle. All right, so I'll be at 16. I have no other play, so I'm going to play this. Trigger.
Yeah.
All right, what does it do when it just doesn't win the game?
You now have the option to put 1 on top and the rest on the bottom in any order, or just put them all on the bottom.
All right, yeah, I hate them. Go.
Okay, now put the other 3 on the bottom.
All right.
Am I willing to give Corey an extra mana to get 3 damage in here?
That is your choice to make.
Yes.
13.
Then I will play a Geralf's Messenger, have you go to 11.
Okay, the beats are on.
That's the turn.
Okay. I'll attack.
I'll go to 18.
Give me something good. Eldritch Evolution, huh? It's not very good.
Want to turn that Thassa's Oracle? Guess that's tough for you to do. You need you need the Springleaf Drum.
Yeah. All right. Expressive Iteration.
Yep.
Wow, those are bad. Those are really bad. Exile. Wow. This is just the worst possible with my hand, like unreal bad. Naturally, I'm gonna combo you next turn, though, right? I guess I'll put this one in.
I guess you just unholy heat your Thassa's Oracle at some point during the combo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can combo with this and play.
Probably want to play the mountain as your land.
Yeah, I'll probably play the mountain instead of just put it into my graveyard.
Yeah.
Good call.
Where I can't possibly go.
Yeah. All right, Needle. I'll name Yawgmoth.
Naturally draw the 1 needle.
Again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do not feel good about this game. I'll pass to you.
I think this is going to be a beat down a clock game.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah, smash for 6.
I'll block.
Take 3. You go to 8.
Yep.
I will play Yawgmoth.
Okay.
Pass the turn. Note I don't have to take damage with Nurturing Peatline because of our Borg.
Yep. Well, that was not good.
But you could choose to, right?
I could. Oh, that was a mistake.
Grinding Station?
Yeah, am I dead?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Nope, you are not. Far from it. I have a land, and I will pass to you.
You're 8 right now.
I'm at 8.
Kind of a weird spot here. I could just smash with all 3 creatures and force a chump block from the Ragavan. I don't think that is necessary, though. 4 cards.
All good. Relatively. Not good to my hand right now, but they're good Magic cards.
Makes sense. I'll play Ignoble Hierarch.
Okay. Yeah, this is a lot of pressure. The pity game, you need to win this one. You need to get on the board before match 3.
Okay. I'll cord for 2.
Oh. Cord for 2.
Trying to play around Metallic Rebuke here.
Resolves.
Oh, that's good. I will elect to put a card whose name escapes me right now, but I know what it is. Outland Liberator onto the battlefield.
Okay.
So what was the reason I courted
Wait,
on...
it's day.
The reason I courted on my turn, chat, if Corey had gone to Metallic Rebuke this Court of Calling, then I was going to find Drannith Magistrate. Because then I'm tapped out, and I just want to have the protection from the combo, and then I'll just try to beat down for the kill.
Yep.
Starting next turn. So, but because it resolves, I just get Liberator. I would now like to sacrifice it to destroy the Pithing Needle.
I will mill myself 3.
Sure.
Crap. Reach on top.
Now I will go.
Am I dead?
I think so. I didn't do the math. I'm going to go to 17, put a counter on Ragavan, sacrificing Messenger.
Okay.
It comes back, draw a card. Then I will sacrifice the...
And then I go to 6 as well, right?
Yes, yes. You go to 6. Then I'll sacrifice Birds, go to 16.
Get rid of this counter kind of thing,
the counter,
right?
draw.
Okay.
Then I will sacrifice the Messenger. I'm going to do this all before the first Yawgmoth activation resolves, so I can keep targeting your Ragavan.
Okay, sure.
So sack that. It comes back. You go to 4.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I kept drawing Ragavans and more grinding stations, so I even put a Ragavan on the bottom with expressive iteration. Just kept drawing Ragavans. I probably should have trimmed on that card.
Yeah, I felt stupid playing the Yawgmoth the previous turn because I had Cord and Yawgmoth.
Yeah.
If I just hold up Cord, then I can interrupt the combo if you have it. And just play the Yawgmoth the next turn.
Yeah.
And
I drew the combo piece. It was just the wrong one. If I drew Breach on that last turn, you would have lost for no reason.
Yeah, so it was, gave you some outs I didn't need to, but forgot to see what the deck does.
Hey.
So that's nice.
There you go, and you're on the board. You're on the board. That's all that matters.
I like that.
I like that. Okay, so our last match that we have is a nice one. I think it's always a fan favorite, and this is one of the better decks that I think is, like, for whatever reason, not being played a lot, but that's Jund Saga. Jund Saga Van, whatever you call it. It's Jund mid-range. You get to play some good old Tarmogoyfs. I think the deck is quite good. I think it's right out of that tier 1, and I easily... Like, if I was playing a tournament, I would much rather play Jund Saga Van than Omnath Pile. For sure. Like, but I personally just don't like that deck. I don't like the clunkiness. In a world of Modern where everything's so lean and stuff. So, like, my personal bias, I would play Death Shadow up top. I wouldn't even play Hammer, but I respect that it's a good deck. I'd keep that at number 2. Then I'd play Murktide, then Jund Sagavan. Like, maybe this is a deck too. I like Magic decks, okay? So I'd play a lot of them, but
yeah. I would say that the proliferation of Dress Down, we started to see that card pop up in other blue decks, in the sideboard of in control decks, has put a damper on Urza Saga, especially in the fair shells. So that's probably why we've seen a dip in Jund recently, but it's still
an incredible card too. That's just like one of the most underrated cards, and it's becoming a little more, hyped. But like right when MH2 came out, it's one of the best cards, and it's just nobody played it.
Jund is still definitely a good deck. I agree with you. Probably a little underrated at this point, even with the number of dress downs in the metagame. I'm going to be playing a little Boros Prowess. We started to see Prowess decks, which, this was the best deck in Modern before MH2.
Yep.
And we saw it still a little bit right after MH2.
It, right?
Yeah, but it quickly, just kind of went away. And it was we talked a little bit about this on Thursday or Tuesday. The Izzet builds went away largely because it's a lot easier now to kill Storming Entity.
Yeah.
And so we had to readapt and go back to a Boros build with Luris as the companion. And that's what this list is doing, playing DRC and Ragavan. So it's just 16 one-mana creatures, gives the deck a lot more consistency. And now with Reckless Impulse, you have additional card advantage. So the deck can grind a little bit better than it used to, which it definitely needs to, because decks are way better at killing your creatures.
Way better, yeah. I've been looking at this deck. I think it's pretty cool. I always immediately just think, like, is this better than Burn? Maybe not. Maybe it is. There's probably certain matchups where each of them are favored more. But,
and there's 2 ways to build Prowess right now. There's the Boros list that I'll be playing in match 3. There's also a mono red list with Obosh as the companion that plays the new Chandra and plays Blood Moon in the main and Seasoned Pyromancer and Bone Crusher Giant.
I don't like that deck.
That deck is... I think that deck is fine. It's a little clunky. I think it's good when Blood Moon is good.
Yeah.
And Blood Moon is good right now.
Yeah, it is.
So I think that deck is solid as well. I could have easily, played it as my last deck instead of this one. I do think the Boros list is a little bit better. I think just being leaner, Luris having a significantly better companion, and now it has a similar amount of card advantage. That was the benefit of the mono red list. It just generated a lot of incidental card advantage over the course of a game with the companion, with Bone Crusher Giant, with Seasoned Pyromancer. And that gave it a lot of advantage over traditional prowess lists. Now with 4 Light at the stage, 4 Reckless Impulse, and Luris Bauble, I feel fine on that axis, and I'm a faster, leaner deck, so edge Boros.
Fair. Okay, yeah, but honestly, nobody cares about those points at all. We're going to see some Tarmogoyf next round. I mean, come on. Everybody loves Jund. You do your 1-mana creatures and stuff, but Goyf is coming back to play after 5 minutes. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back to the agonizing pain in which I live every day. I'm Ross Merriam.
I'm Corey Baumeister.
This is actually Versus Live, and we got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Yeah.
Hi, Rob. I should make that the clip of the day.
Yeah, you should. This is how the day is going for Ross. Clip.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are wrapping up our show exploring our favorite Tier 2 Modern strategies, decks that Corey and I think are underrated right now in Modern or underplayed for whatever reason. As we said before the break, Corey's going to finish out the day with a little Jund action here, but you're also playing the list that has a bit of a twist to it.
Yeah.
Traditionally, this deck has played Dragon's Rage Channeler. This list has eschewed to that and is playing 4 copies of Elvish Reclaimer.
Yeah.
A card that goes very nicely with Urza's Saga.
Yeah.
And
spicy.
Yeah. Goes very nicely with Saga. I think this is great. This is one of the decks I wrote about in my article this week. Just writing about different innovations people are now exploring. Because that's kind of the point in the metagame we are now.
Yeah.
All the viable archetypes are pretty well established.
Yeah.
And so now people are trying to get edges by bringing something a little bit unexpected, making a subtle tweak to a deck list, and cutting DRC and playing Reclaimer instead is one of those subtle tweaks, and one that I like quite a bit, because Saga really is the bee's knees. Yeah. And you want to find them every game, especially with your Wrens. And also being a 3/4 in the late game.
Yeah, no, that's great too. Yeah, just not being able to be bolted when people still play that. Can you go to Chapter 3 of Saga, reclaim it away for another Saga, and get the artifact? It's when it sacrifices.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not completely obscene with it, because that'd be cool.
And one of the subtle things that I really like about Reclaimer versus DRC in this deck is that Reclaimer is never forced to attack. You're a mid-range deck that prides itself on versatility. There are games when you're the aggressor, but there are games when you need to hold back. So DRC being forced to attack is oftentimes a liability, and something that you kind of have to tiptoe around or just throw your DRC away because of. Yeah. And so just having that sort of agency over your own combat phase, very nice for a mid-range strategy.
And I really like it against Ren right now too. Like, DRC is sometimes unplayable. Coming from somebody who only plays Death Shadow. Yeah.
And your opponent represents red or green man on turn 1.
Exactly. Or just like any fetch land, there's a lot of times when, if I'm on the play, doesn't really matter. I'll play either Regavan or DRC because you already get some value and then it'll die, sure. But when I'm on the draw, there's times when DRC is not cast until turn 3, maybe turn 4, when it's already delirious and stuff. So while DRC is just one of the best red creatures ever printed, it's losing a lot of oomph in our current metagame with what decks are popular and stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So there's real advantages here to Reclaimer. We know Reclaimer is a powerful card. It sees significant play in Legacy.
Yeah.
It's obviously not doing anything close to as powerful as what it does there. Something like Dark Depths and Thespian Stage. Even relative to the power level of the format, I think Dark Depths is more powerful in Legacy than Urza Saga is in Modern.
Yeah, that's probably pretty safe.
Yeah. But still, I think a very solid card here. One that's very underexplored in Modern. So happy to see it get its day.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Would not be surprised for this to become the new stock version of the deck.
I can see it. Yeah, this top 8 did, huh?
Did. Actually, top 4 of the event and it swept the Swiss.
Oh, wow.
So the one loss they took in the top 4 was their only loss in the tournament.
Okay, cool.
And as I said before the break, I'll be on a Boros Prowess. Pretty straightforward list here. Pretty terrible opening hand.
Yep, this is a pretty good hand against specifically these Boros decks, but this hand still has a very glaring problem that if I don't get a little help from my top couple draws, I'm going to be in trouble, so I'll keep. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also, I'm being told by chat that Corey was right in the way that Saga works with Reclaimer.
Is it? Okay. Because the ability does... Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
How?
You
just get everything?
The ability goes on the stack, right? Like, I don't have one in front of me to read. I'm looking it up, but...
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, actually, the more that I think about it.
Yeah. It's search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost of 0/1, then put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the land going.
I guess you do get it all.
I don't have it in hand or anything. I'm just saying, from memory, that's what it is, word for word. I'm pretty sure, right, Rob?
Yeah. I was just looking that up, and I was, mind beaming.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got it. Yeah. Yeah, because I think like one of the clauses is like as the saga enters and after your draw step, add a lore counter and sacrifice after the third. I'm pretty sure it's
Even if Corey weren't completely overacting this to just tell me that he has it in hand, you would know that he had it in hand because there's no way he can remember any string of words.
But numbers. I can remember when my life total changes were exactly in the last match that I was playing for top 8 or something, but words.
I don't know if he knows the text on like Beta Wrath of God.
Okay, but that's because only you know that.
It's only 3 words.
Yeah. Destroy all creatures.
Bury all creatures.
Bury all creatures.
Dang it.
They used to use the word bury when they meant it can't be regenerated.
That's right. Bury them. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad card
Wait, you mean
templating.
bury like Corey's doing to you today?
Oh! There's the clip of the day. Just Rob burning Ross. We like that. Ross. We don't even have to play, Rob. We don't even have to play this last match. That was too good.
I'm sorry, Ross, but you set yourself up for that.
Yeah, you're not going to be regenerated after this beating. That's for sure.
I'll keep.
Okay.
Just going to move on with my life.
Just move on. Just ignore that happened.
I'm going to get a Sacred Foundry, go to 17, and play Rogavan.
Okay. I'm going to play a Bloodstained Mire. And, well, I have a choice. It's like, I think these decks play Boros Charm for the old indestructibleness. They also play more Ragavans. Believe it or not, I'm not going to let this Ragavan, or at least I'm going to try to not let it hit me. But, against like Is It Murktide, you always just kill it right away because they can go land counterspell. Here you can go land Boros Charm and make it indestructible. But you can also just dash a second one. And Ragavan just connecting to either one of our decks is pretty insane because there's a lot of stuff we can cast, So you got to put a high equity on it. But that being said, I'll just pass to you.
Attack for 2.
I'll fetch. I'm going to have to take 3. We get a Blood Crypt.
If you're getting Blood Crypt, then you could have cast whatever the spell is with a basic land. And you didn't have to take 3.
Oh, I know, but I wanted to.
Corey just lies to me every turn of every
No,
game.
I had to. Based on my hand.
Yeah, I'll play Rogavan.
All right.
Pass the turn. Didn't have the second land anyway.
Yeah, okay, perfect. All right.
In fact, I didn't have the Rogavan last turn either.
All right. Saga. Oops. I got options again. God, this deck just always has so many options. I think I want to... God. So here's my choices. I either cast these or I do this. All right, I don't know if it's right. I'm going to dash Ragavan.
So I have 7. Oh God!
Hope I get a lightning bolt.
I mean, there's just so many. It's lightning bolt, lava dart, any 1-mana creature.
Lava dart's not great though, because it goes to your yard, and then you can kill my own
Well,
Ragavan.
I only have 1 land, so I think you would accept that trade.
I would accept that trade. You're right.
So yeah, it's really lava dart, lightning bolt. Any of the 14 1-mana creatures. If you would light up the stage, that's messed up.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
But I just don't. I would. Oh, I guess here's the awkward part is if I block and the top card is a land, that's good. And if I don't block, so I really just need the top card to be a land, regardless of what I do. Yep. And if that's the case, then I would rather just have my Ragavan, so I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm at 15.
Yep, you're at 15. Honestly, though, like, I don't know if I even want to cast it, because then if you just untap bolt it, it's worse for me. Yeah, I'll push it. Go.
Ragavan's in your hand?
Yep.
Swift Spear.
Okay.
Attack for 1.
16.
Take 1, light up the stage.
Okay. You're at 14. It's pretty good.
You can go.
Ooh. So in chapter 2. I'll dash Ragavan.
Go to 12.
12 to 16. What do you got? What does that do?
It's light up the stage, but it
Oh,
just
yeah.
always costs 2. So you can cast it if you've got a land.
Yeah, I do. And that's kind of nice. That gives you the light up the stage, but I don't have a great play outside of it, so I'm gonna play Saga, and yeah, YOLO. Exile top 2 till the end of your next turn.
Yeah. So if you hit a bauble, you can play it immediately.
God, is that what I want to do? Yeah, sure, YOLO. Okay, yep, past you.
Attack for 1.
Yep, 15.
Play DRC, take 1, play light up the stage, trigger
Okay.
DRC. I'm at 11.
Okay,
I will surveil this lava dart to my graveyard.
it's pretty good.
I'll hit Bolt Wooded Foothills, and I can play the Bolt until my next turn. So I'll play
Okay.
Foothills and pass.
Okay, pretty good, pretty good.
I currently have land, instant sorcery creatures, so DRC is Delirious.
Okay. Chapters. All right, I'll add a mana.
Yep.
Search.
It's going to be like a Pirate Spellbomb or just a Bauble. Could get like Soul Guide Lantern.
Yep. A lot of options.
Soul Guide Lantern on the Lava Dart's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do.
And yeah, 1 damage is not worth getting rid of a land, so
Okay. So now you have sorcery, creature, land.
I guess in response to the Soul Guide Lantern trigger, I'm actually going to fetch.
Okay.
Just so there's no window where, I don't know, something can happen while my DRC is a 1/1.
Sure.
So I'm at 10.
Okay. You're at
Currently
10.
DRC is a 1/1.
Okay. So now
I guess there's a window in response to Bolt anyway. But
I have 1 mana floating. This Reclaimer will be large, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to play that. I'm almost assuredly going to play that. And don't have a ton I can do besides just using this. All right, so I'm going to fetch. I'm going to go to 14. I think a basic forest here is fine. If I have one, yep. I'm going to cast this. Is that good?
Yep.
Okay. And then, still with the 1 mana floating, I'll make a construct.
Okay.
Fast you.
On your end step, I'll bolt the construct, trigger DRC.
Okay.
Put Vantage in the graveyard.
Okay.
I will play Reckless Impulse, trigger both.
Okay.
Put Vantage in the graveyard.
Okay. You may play those.
That's just unbelievable.
You can play them, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Not bad, then.
I've just literally drawn 5 lands in a row.
Okay. Well, you kept one lander. You want 5 lands in a row, right? Right?
You're at 14.
14, yep. 14 to 10, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm at a 9 and double bolt the Reclaimer.
Okay, you got triggers.
Oh yeah, do not think the Ragavan's going to be good.
Okay.
I guess I should have done this one at a time because I could have hit a Lava Dart, which I would have used, but I hit it off the second one.
Yeah.
So I'll put that there,
Okay.
and then I will attack you for 7.
All right. Lantern you.
Okay, I'll respond by darting you.
Okay.
So
So I'm going to go to 13. You get another trigger.
that one I will keep.
Okay. So now I'll take
6.
3, 4.
I've
This
cast-
is no longer delirious.
Yeah, I've cast 4 spells. 2 bolts, Reckless Impulse, Dart. There's a 5/6.
Sorry, dart, 2 reclo.
2 bolts and Reckless Impulse.
Oh, yep. Okay.
So you go to 13 from the dart, and then you take 6, go to 7.
Okay. Sounds right.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I'm scared. I will draw chapter 3.
Do we want a crappy construct?
Yeah, this construct is quite crappy. So I don't think I do. And we just have to hope the rest is good. So yeah, let's search 1 mana floating. You can get this Pyrite Spellbomb now. And that's literally it. So I'm going to get Pyrite Spellbomb.
You don't have baubles?
Yeah, no baubles. Not many targets for Urza the Saga here.
Why aren't we playing any baubles?
I don't know. We're crazy.
I guess we're not DRCing,
Yeah.
so actually it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Still hate it. Okay. So I'll play a land.
Does get you into some awkward scenarios, especially if you're recurring sagas a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you would
Agreed.
kind of want to have a lot of targets.
Agreed. Okay, I'm going to Ren and 6. Yeah, kill that. And with the colorless, I'm going to play a Shadow Sphere and pass to you.
Okay. So I think I'm actually going to do the awkward thing here so I can kill the Wren, unless you have a push, which you might, but
You leave that Ren alone.
then I can't, then I'm have to do this anyway, so I'm going to go to 8 and hardcast Light Up the Stage.
Okay. I had you at 10. Did I miss something?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I went to 9 from the
Okay,
beginning
sure.
last turn.
So you're at 8 now.
So that's pretty good. I'll play Sunbaked Canyon.
Okay.
And I will play go to 7,
Okay.
play DRC.
Okay.
Then I will play Bauble, trigger DRC.
Mm-hmm.
How good is that? Yeah, I think that's good enough.
Okay.
And I will attack your Ren for 3.
Push.
And then pass the turn. On your upkeep, I will bauble you.
Still not delirious, right?
Nope.
Sweet. And you like your top card. So, yeah, kill that. Dash Ragavan. Give me that card.
I'll go to 5.
Okay. Okay, I'll use that treasure. Play it. And play a Reclaimer. And bounce this to hand and pass to you.
Okay, upkeep, draw from bauble.
Yep.
Draw for turn.
Yep.
Yeah, it's dead.
Not even Luris shenanigans?
What shenanigans I'm going to do with 5 mana and a Luris?
Oh, I guess, yeah, you're just actually dead, huh?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
at 5.
I'm saving this the whole game until you pick that up. But yeah, I just had a nice draw. It was Bloodstained Mire, Urza Saga, and just removal. You know, it's just this. You know, this and a Ragavan. It's like, yeah, this hand needs a little help. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find one land, but just a ton of ways to kill a bunch of creatures. Ended up being pretty good.
Honestly, Reclaimer
Was good.
was huge.
Yeah, DRC would not have been great. You would only had to use one of your lightning bolts, you know?
Yeah, would have been a completely different game.
Yeah, no, it looked great. And, you know, at that point, I was going to start bringing back sagas with Ren. And, like, that's where you get to that point of the game where, like, this deck just doesn't run out of steam, you know? And that's a very excellent thing when you're talking with just in Modern in general right now. Like, that's the one thing I love about Death Shadow as well. Doesn't run out of gas. And Modern Hammerin does, but it's by far the most explosive deck, you know?
Yeah. So just impressive stuff from Reclaimer there, and not enough. You know, the one thing that this deck doesn't have is individually a really powerful card.
Yeah.
You know, it's all cheap stuff and card advantage. So
Yeah.
if you get to the late game, your cards often get outclassed. There's no like Battle Revelers like they used to have.
What a time.
And you can't like Obosh and Fury like the mono red versions do. So that you saw that come up there where you know I still had cards and things to do. They just weren't really worth a full card.
Yeah, I was going to start if you weren't just dead, just strap up the Shadow Sphere to the 3/4, attack for 4, Baneslayer you know, basically, and you were going to be in a lot of trouble. So that does it for our first game. We're going to head to the sideboard, see what we got for each other. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Versus Live.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Boros Prowess and Jund Saga. On my side, we can upgrade our removal here. Lightning Bolt is pretty poor in the matchup, as you saw in Game 1. We got some paths to help deal with the bigger creatures, the green creatures, namely. Also have 1 Alpine Moon for Urza Saga. And then I'm going to upgrade a couple Soulscar Mages into Sanctifier and Vex, which are very difficult for Corey to answer. Really
That's
just
a tough one.
Yeah, really just needs to stick a green creature or find one of these colorless ways to answer it. But,
Pyrite Spellbomb.
oh, yeah, you have the one pirate too. Okay.
That's a big one.
Yeah, so it has a couple answers, but definitely harder for him to answer than most other things. So I think better than Soulscar Mage, especially now that Lightning Bolt is getting cut. So there's not much for like removal for Soulscar to upgrade.
Yeah.
You know, getting counter with Lava Dart is meh. There's a couple Unholy Heats in the deck. There's 2. But still, you know, definitely a card that gets worse.
Hit my 6/7 Tarmogoyf with Unholy Heat, and if you didn't have that play sucks. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so from my end here, taking out Thoughtseize, absolutely awful. First card I want to cut. Second card, main deck Turox. This deck is really screaming to me that I'm sick of my DRCs getting hit by Ren on turn 2, and I'm sick of losing to Money Pile in general. So I'm main decking this and Reclaimers. Like, this seems like a list that is really good against these Omnath decks, where normally I see that matchup being very bad. I really do. Like the normal DRC stuff. It makes sense that this person was sick of losing to Omnath, pitch spells, and stuff like that. So then we're also taking out the one Assassin's Trophy. Very clunky. You usually keep 2 land hands. Giving you that third one is just as bad as killing whatever creature you got. So we're going to take that out. I'm going to bring in Chalice. I know this is not for this matchup. This is a play it on 0 type of card for sure. But, you know, I have 1-drops, but still Chalice on 1 is so good against you that I'm still going to bring it in and just kind of play my 1-drops first, hopefully. Collector Brutalities, really usually the burn card, but similar vein, it's still going to do kind of the same stuff. Blast Zone as just a decent land that could kind of get your Alpine Moon, stuff like that. And then 1 EE. It was really a product of I needed at least this many cards to get this many bad cards out.
Yeah. But Blast Zone and EE are great. All my creatures cost 1.
Yeah. So. But a lot of mine do too. You know, that is a bit of a problem, but
it's a lot easier for you to play around your own card than it is for me to play around.
That's true. That's true. Very true. All right, Rob, do you got a question at all while we shuffle up for our second game?
Yeah. What do you each think is the best combo deck to be playing right now if you were going to look to play?
I think it's Izzet Breach. Yeah. I think it's Izzet Breach. Not by a lot. I'm trying to think like what other competition. I guess, yeah, second would be Belcher for me, but Izzet Breach I think is a better deck.
If you want to call 4C Creativity a combo deck, then I would say that.
Yeah.
The same deck I keep talking about all the time.
Yeah, that's true. I might put that above Belcher as well, because I do not think Belcher can beat a Death Shadow ever. You know, like that deck is so bad for it, and it's the most played deck right now, so I would not want to be playing a Belcher deck in this format right now, and I think Breach is pretty good, and I also think Creativity is pretty good too. So we're thinking about it. We still haven't figured out the finer details, but something to look forward to for next week is a Creativity Gauntlet played by Ross against just the good decks. We do a lot of like tier 2 shows like this where we play tier 2 decks against other tier 2 decks, which is fun because you see a lot of fun decks. But you know, if we're really going to test one of these tier 2 decks and see if it can be made into a tier 1 deck, you got to play it against the good decks. So that's something we kind of want to do next week. Well, not sure if we'd like it, but what would you think of that? Would y'all like that kind of show? We'll get some in real life feedback. But you're going to go first, right?
I will indeed.
All right.
I have a good 7-card hand that I'm going to keep.
Me too.
I don't think I've said that in 2 hours.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
I will lead on Mountain Soulscar Mage.
Soulscar Mage, okay.
You're up.
God, I have so many options. So many options. It's not this. I think it is between these 3. I don't think it's this either, so I think it's one of these 2. Yeah, all right. We're going to go with take 2 and Inquisition you. Did I break up your fun?
It's just like... I don't know how you do it.
I just draw 7 cards, and then I put my sweatpants on 1 leg at a time. It's just afterwards, I just come and beat you at Magic. So, what do you got? What do you got?
You got 1 good card and 4 stinkers.
Yeah, I think you're referring to this one. Like, that's what I was considering playing around. Alpine Moon is a great card as well. Swift Spear is also pretty scary. I think for me, it's between these 2. Your hand is just good. It's very good here.
It's the best hand I've had all day.
Yeah.
I saved the best for last.
I don't know what I want to be doing here. I think it's a close light up the stage, but here's those for you. All right, your go.
So Corey has chosen to put himself under a little bit more pressure to take away some of my card advantage.
Yep, exactly that.
I will go to 17 for a Sacred Foundry.
Okay.
Wherever you are.
And Alpine Moon on Overgrown Tomb, huh? And then Swift Spear, in that order.
And we'll play Swift Spear, and then Alpine Moon on Urza Saga, and attack for 4.
14.
Pass the turn.
I gotta double check what my basics are. I'm not super familiar with this list since it's pretty new. Okay. Do 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 do. I want to stall a little bit longer. I'm going to play Reclaimer. Put a land here and pass to you.
Five hand.
5, yep.
I will attack for 2.
I will block.
Okay, take 1. Get 13.
Yep.
Post combat, I'm going to go to 14 and get another Sacred Foundry.
Okay.
This is a pretty interesting turn the way it ended up playing out.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear from my perspective that Corey has a removal spell, and if I go for Lava Dart on the Reclaimer, he's just going to kill the Soulscar Mage and be pretty happy about that exchange. And I, in particular, just wanted to use this turn to use all my mana and get the Lurrus in my hand.
Makes sense.
So he gets his free point, essentially.
Hooray!
So I'll buy
Got
Lurrus.
him.
I'm a 14, you're a 13, you're up.
Okay. Now here's a question of what do I want to do at end step. All right, I'll fetch.
You're 12.
I'm gonna get a swamp. Yep. Now let's push that. Untap. I'll go to 11.
Yep.
All right, now I got Reclaimer large and in charge. Still don't know what I'm really doing. I guess I would rather do this while I can. Dash Ragavan.
I'm at 12.
Okay. 12 to 11.
Oh my god.
I'll play Bubble. It's actually pretty awkward, though.
How? You just...
Because my follow-up play was going to be Lantern to take your only Lurrus target. But now I have to debate if I want to take your own Bobble.
You can also just let the bauble sit and play.
I can. But I think what I would rather do is Bobble you. Yeah, I'd love for that to go to my graveyard. Okay, okay. Awkward. Okay, then I'll play Lantern. Yeah, I'll hit Bobble. And end step, I'll dash this back and then draw a Bobble. Draw your card, you jerk. He drew Bobble. He drew Bobble. Makes it very awkward. My hits were too good, it made the game super awkward for me.
You have 3 in hand?
4.
4.
One's Ragavan.
I'm going to play a Swift Spear, then a Bauble,
Okay.
and I will attack for 4.
So you'd have to double Lava Dart to just have like the super clean answer, huh?
You know, it's 3 lands, right?
What?
Reclaimer.
No.
I was like,
Nope.
when you said you had it, you did if you activated Reclaimer, but then you didn't leave 2 mana up.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Awkward.
it's
It's barely not lethal.
yeah.
If I send the 2 darts upstairs, these are then 4s, and it's 10 total. So you do have a mana up, so I have to be a little wary of a removal spell.
Yeah, okay. So those are 2 3s now, huh?
There indeed 2 3s.
All right, no blocks.
Yeah, take 4, you get a 7.
Okay.
And I'm going to bauble you now, actually. If you have a discard spell, you're probably taking Laris. This might give me more options on your turn.
Okay.
Pass the turn, draw on your upkeep.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I'll play a land. I will cast Rent.
Sure. Not particularly concerned with this.
Yep. Nope, it's not great. It's not great. Yeah, it's so not great. I don't know if I even want to cast it. Yeah, maybe I don't even want to cast that horrible card right now. God, sorry, this is tough. All right, I'll still cast it. I'll tick up on this. And I'll pass to you. Really unsure of this. Believe it or not.
That's probably not smart.
Yeah, this is a tough game. Tough game.
Yep. Okay, I will attack with the Swifties.
The old Swifties. Okay, I'll block.
I will dart you.
In response, Croc.
Brings you to 6.
Yep.
Getting a forest.
Think so. I think I have a second mountain as well if I want. Nope. Do I even have a forest? Didn't I already search for one? Yep, okay. Yeah, so I'll get that, and then I'll also reclaim sacking this.
Yep.
I think I will not get Urza Saga. I think that's for sure.
I think the choice is pretty obvious.
Yep. Okay. So now I just have to debate what else I want to do. So this could go up to 3 with just the dart. And then 2 damage. That's pretty bad for me. I don't think I can afford to take any damage. So I think I have to bolt that with the trigger on the stack too. So 1 prowess triggers on the stack right now. It's still just a 1-2 and lava darts on the stack, so you can't play that. That's what I was really trying to get you with last turn. Good no play on the dart, because if you played it on the dart, it was you had 2-2-3s. Bolting that would have just been awesome last turn, but
I will Unholy Heat Elvish Reclaimer.
you got Delirium, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 1 spell is on the stack, right?
Yep.
So it's gonna be a 3-4 already. Yeah, it's just gonna die anyways, right? So that's on the stack. 1, 2, so it's a 3-4 with 2 damage. Yeah, okay. That's dead.
Okay. Swifty dies.
Okay.
No damage is dealt in combat.
Yep.
And then I'll pass the turn.
I guess I don't have to do this. No, we'll untap. See what we draw.
Hellish Proclaimer has been unbelievable.
All day. In multiple decks.
What other deck did you have Reclaimer in?
Didn't I reclaim something else?
No.
Oh, well, it's been great in this deck. Okay. So the problem is I can't really... Oh, yes, I can. I guess I can stack this correctly, can't I? All right. I'm going to trigger this, hold priority to exile your graveyard, and then Blast Zone. And didn't want to play that. Okay, then I'll play Regavan, tick up, get Blast Zone back, and pass to you.
The card I wanted every single turn up until this one.
Excellent, excellent. Was it Lightning Bolt?
Well, those aren't in my deck.
Oh, yeah, that's
It was
right.
Land 4.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, this has been a narrowly navigated game for my part. I had no room to make a mistake, and I needed you to like not draw specifically, well for a couple of turns.
Yeah, I mean, Reclaimer's just been unbelievable.
Yeah, Reclaimer's been sweet.
Incredibly awkward for me to try to kill because I have not drawn a single piece of white removal in either game.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
And, in the combination with the Soul Guide Lantern, otherwise, I just get to Unholy Heat it and do everything. But and Unholy Heat it before you even get to activate it. So you don't even find the Blast Zone, and I'm fine.
To be fair, I think the card that was really insane is just drawing the one of Lantern both games. The Lantern has been awesome.
Yeah, so the combination of Soul Guide Lantern and Reclaimer just made every part of my draw very awkward.
Agreed.
And now it's like
probably
tear me apart. So I think I just have to play Luris and trade.
Yeah, that's sad, but I agree. Yeah. Otherwise, I can play my own Luris with the mana advantage. You know. Well. Yep. I'll attack.
Block.
You gain 3.
I'm at 15.
All right. Oh, lucky for you. I don't have that great of a follow-up. I will tick up on the forest so I can take less damage. Got a Urza Saga now that's finally online. And I'll buy Luris and pass to you.
Yeah, I'll go 14. I guess, I don't actually have any more, whatchamacallits, Sacred Foundries. There's only 2.
Okay. Maybe I wanted to play Blast On instead, because this Urza Saga is not going to be good. But I wouldn't have mana to leave it up anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I would think just getting you closer to the tutor is too.
Because the tutor could be insane if I can get a big threat down. Like, draw a Tarmogoyf, that'd be great.
Go.
All right. Draw, trigger. Now let's play Luris. Dash Ragavan.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Okay. My hand was not good, but
I was drawing removal for Luris, but you're getting
I was going to take that, yeah.
And I'm drawing removal for Luris.
Yeah, but it comes with a land.
And then, I guess that sequence of draws would have been pretty good.
I don't know, because I'm still getting a treasure, bouncing this, and then next turn I'm going to make a construct, get Shadow Sphere, dash, equip, start gaining life, or just make a construct and start attacking with that. Sanctifier wasn't going to do anything there at that point.
It was going to stop Ragavan, but then you just have more stuff going on.
Then the construct strapped with whatever, even just leave this treasure around, even a 3/3 life linker. Yeah. Whatever abilities it gets.
More than good enough.
Yeah, would have been more than good enough. So, well, I think we're a little too close, and that's a good stopping point anyways. But we can take some questions and stuff. But, yeah, this week wasn't your week, man. Wasn't your week.
It was not.
Now, the old win all 6 matches is...
That's
I've been there. I still remember the month of January, I didn't win a single match, I don't think, for like a month straight. So we have our streaks, but yeah, this was not your week.
I was still happy to see Elvish Reclaimer, perform as well as it did.
After I knew what it did, it was awesome. Yeah,
a little awkward that I just didn't draw white removal. 3 prismatic endings, 3 paths would have made quick work of it, but shows you how good it is against the red removal, and also finding Blast Zone, finding Bajuka Bog in matchups where that's relevant, finding Ghost Quarter against Tron.
The only thing that game that I don't know what would have been better, but I didn't see the play until after you already bought Luris. But on that turn 3, I was really thinking you were going to dart me to get a creature bigger to then kill my 1/2. And that play I was ready for. Then I was going to bolt the one that I blocked. And I was kind of baiting you to playing 1. But if you just dealt the 1 damage, and then when you just said, okay, go to damage, I'm like, oh, shoot. Because then you could just lava dart it then. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know the rest of your hand or something.
Oh, yeah.
But since it was already dealt 1 damage, that's the one part where I'm like, I didn't see it until after damage was already there.
I honestly didn't even think about that. I was trying to be really aggressive. But killing the Reclaimer then would have been great.
I think so, because you were talking okay, it doesn't really pay to dart it to get the 1 counter on it and then let damage. So I'm like, okay, I don't think you saw that either. But that was the one part where, in hindsight, I looked back and I was like, okay, my block was bad, even though it was just a cute block.
Yeah.
Thinking I know what you were gonna do, but when you said damage, if you just went to dart it, I was like, okay, that would have got me pretty bad, actually.
Yeah, Not sure if that would have been enough to turn the game around, but it really might have been like not ever getting blast zoned.
Yeah,
because then I still have the Alpine Moon, so your Saga doesn't turn on.
Yeah,
and I'd probably kill you before you set up the Luris in multiple turns.
Yeah, and it was the fact that Luris had no text that game. In hindsight, it was threatening the entire game, and that's what I had to play around. You know, especially with those double bobble draws when off the Ragavan and stuff.
Okay,
so,
there was definitely a misstep there on my part, but you know,
a still sweet match though.
I just think I think of the utility that Reclaimer gives you in so many matchups. Can you imagine having the ability to have an opening hand with 2 lands, Reclaimer, Ren, and 6 against Tron? If you're on the play, that's just looping Ghost Quarters if you have the Ghost Quarter in your deck.
Or against Living End and constantly having them to play around Bajuka Bog.
Yeah. From turn 2.
Yeah.
Even if you're on the draw, you know, that's fast enough against them.
Yeah.
You know, Blast Zone against aggressive decks, and those are the 3 lands on the sideboard, and that's enough to cover really everything.
Yeah.
And really diversifies your board and gives you access to your good sideboard cards. So I think the Reclaimer looks great in the deck.
I do too.
Every time you cast it, if it had just been DRC, it would have been laughably bad.
Agreed. This is not a great DRC deck.
Yeah, it never has been.
Yeah, but it's just been, people are like, okay, I'm playing red. I play DRC, I play Ragavan. They're a couple, you know, like, but not always. Yeah.
Like
the Breach deck, it's great there because, you know, you're putting a lot of stuff to your graveyard. Your combo deck, you want to set up your draws. Death Shadow, it's also good, but it is one of my worst creatures, you know, like if not the worst.
Yeah. And, you know, generally it gets better the lower your curve is. So, you know, it's good in my deck too. It's good in the Breach deck, like you said. But the Jund deck is a higher curve. It doesn't necessarily want to just spew out all of its spells because a lot of its spells are removal that you want to time appropriately. So that by then your DRC might have died, or you might have missed you just didn't get the payoff fast enough. Modern was really like a immediate impact kind of format. So. Yeah, I think the change is great. So despite the loss here, I was glad to see it because I remember looking at the list and seeing it like, well, that seems awesome.
And I don't know. I'm still, the one thing I don't like about the list is I'm still not a believer in the Turok card. Like I just, so many people are just like, this card is insane and stuff. And maybe this matchup it's different, but like especially in Death Shadow, I am just not playing this card. You already beat the money pile things, and maybe this deck,
this card is
maybe this deck just really loses to money pile. I haven't played a lot with Jund Saga, so they just need the help, and then it would make sense. But even then, like main deck, it's a little iffy because it's not particularly strong in a lot of matchups. But that's from my inexperience with the deck. So it really could be. Some of you Jund Saga players out there might be like, oh yeah, you need it in that matchup and it's still good, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and it is excellent in that matchup.
Yeah.
So, that's the book on that card is, it's not great across the board, but it's very, very good
in that one
specifically
matchup.
the matchup where
and blue-eye control. Same thing,
although the counter spells against a 4-mana sorcery a little bit easier for them.
Sure.
But still, a very good threat, and you're fine having some good 4-mana threats that you can finagle your way through, set up with discard spells.
And set up against like blue-eye control, especially like Urza Saga is the best card against them. And like just setting up turns where you like, okay, all I'm gonna do is Saga until you answer the Saga, and then you Turok them. So yeah, I can see that. All right. Anyways, that was a really fun week of Modern for specifically me. I was going to. You didn't let me finish.
Probably fun for Rob too.
Yeah, Rob was having a good one.
I was gonna say I got the good burn with the Wrath of God text, so that was.
Yeah, you got that burn. You forgot how to count on Tuesday. It's been a week. It's been a good week for all of us.
Rob's been up and down. You've been up, and I've been down.
Yeah, yeah. I love my job. So Rob's gonna thank some subs. We're gonna thank some sponsors, and we're gonna head out. Yeah, it's my favorite card.
Google it, noob subscribed, and Shafta 2004 for 36 months, whole 3 years. Thank you to both of them.
That's a lot.
3-year anniversary. What is that, like the clock anniversary? The traditional gift, like your one is paper, 25 is silver. Anybody?
No, you're young, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Hey, Rob's not that young.
Yeah, hey.
Neither are you, to be honest.
Hey, I'm a young buck, let me tell you. I'm still...
On the internet, I'm young. We'll go with that.
There we go. We'll take that.
Everyone's young on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that support. And if you'd like to support Star City Games in another way, you can join SCG Premium. $7.99 a month will get you access to exclusive content from our fantastic staff of content creators, as well as 5% off of sealed product, 10% off of singles, and 15% off of supplies. So head on over to starcitygames.com/join-premium and sign up today.
Absolutely. And something very exciting that is coming back here as well, some, paper SCGs. It's not the SCG Tour, but it is SCG Con, kind of just spreading those out throughout the year. Going to be a lot of fun. There's Commander, there's Modern, this first one has Legacy, and the first one here in Philly next month has the next set pre-release.
Yeah.
So that's
Kamigawa Neon Destiny pre-release events will be happening all weekend, starting on that Friday. So if you just want to do 3 days of nonstop Kamigawa, because you've been waiting for the return to Kamigawa for almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
Like, Kamigawa was, I guess Kamigawa was after Myriad, so it was 0405.
I remember like there was at my local game store, it was right around the corner and then there's a McDonald's, so like naturally when I get there on like a Sunday to play a tournament or something, we go get some food, talk about what we're excited to play. And it was like just a standard tournament or something. And I remember being at a table and reading that blue flip card that like,
Jushi Apprentice?
yeah, is that the one where like it counters the first spell?
Oh, you're talking about a Ryo Soratami Ascendant.
A Ryu, yeah.
One of my favorite cards of all time.
I know. That's why I'm bringing this story up. It was like my buddy was just like, I'm gonna play this card, and like we played a couple games, and I just grew just such a hatred for that card in that match, and I was like, wow, that was the new card from Kamigawa, right?
Yeah, it was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh god, I hate this card. I hope a lot of people don't play that. And then it ended up being relatively popular, and
yeah, people would play it like in Affinity.
yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
And try to set it in extended. There were some. One of my friends back in the day, Rich, he spent years just doing weird stuff with that card. When they printed Repeal in Guild Pact, it was just like, okay, what 0 mana card can I repeal to flip my Ryo?
Yes. I mean, that's the last Kamigawa memory I remember, and I hated that card. Yeah. So that's not a shining endorsement for the set, but hopefully that card's not in it, is what I'm saying.
My local game store was also near a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
Actually, many, but the one across the street was a Wendy's, not a McDonald's.
Okay.
I ate an inhuman amount of junior bacon cheeseburgers.
That's fair. A little healthier.
Back when they were 99 cents, too.
Ooh, nice.
Now they're like $2.
Oh, yeah, who knows? Dollar menus at McDonald's don't exist anymore. It's like the dollar store. That's a suggestion what the prices are at dollar stores.
Back in my day, I used to be able to get 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers, a medium fry, and a 5-piece nugget for $4.20. That was after tax.
Times are changing. But anyways,
that was not me making a joke, by the way. $4.20 was the actual price after tax in Connecticut.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fair.
6 cents tax, 6% sales tax, 99-cent item, they're $1.05 a piece.
No one cares. Anyway, so what I was getting to the point of is SCG cons before we went on a tangent. The first one will be in Philly next month, and I guess we figured out when the next set comes out because, well, it's over SCG Philly, so.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a lot of fun. These cons are going to be really cool. This one will be at the Valley Forge Casino to start, and then they've announced Dallas and Indy for the next one. So go to starcitygames.com and check on... I don't know the exact location that we have for him. I know you'll find the announcement from Pete.
It's at the
for the cons.
It's at the Valley Forge Casino.
It's in the
Philly
articles.
Yeah, it's in one of the articles. I'm just saying so people can get check out the stuff. But yeah,
I would assume Indy's at the Indy Convention Center and Dallas is at the Fort Worth Convention Center.
I know where they are, but so people can read up on the full announcement of what they can play
on the website.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're there. Don't worry.
Excellent. It might have been the longest plug for SCG Con ever, but
Most convoluted one
for sure. Yeah.
If you are looking to start playing some Paper Magic again at these SCG cons in particular, and want to update your collection, Star City Games is always buying cards, and the process has never been easier because there are so many ways to do it. You can use the buy list feature on the website. You can mail your cards in and let them do the work vis-a-vis sorting and grading. You can come into the store, make an appointment to do your business in person. And then if your collection is big enough, you can make an appointment and have Star City Games come to you. So pick whichever option works best for your situation, and do always keep in mind that when trading cards in for store credit, you will get a 30% bonus.
You still got a ton of credit, huh? That's what you're going to be using for Philly, I imagine.
I have a tidy sum.
Nice. Yeah, hey, I sold a lot of cards and got that bonus too. It is really nice, so I recommend it.
The number of Grand Prix foils that I had accumulated over the years was
for Gen. I had so many of those cryptic commands for whenever you top 8'd, or
mine was
I think it was just day 2ing of the tour. You just got one of those promo cryptic commands. I sold so many of those.
Mine was the GP Gristlebrand's and GB Batterskulls. I had a lot of those.
Nice.
Those must have been the years I was going to a lot of GPs.
Gotta love it. And if you're gonna sell a lot of cards and you want to buy some stuff back, there's a really cool and special and unique sale we got going on right now. There's a lot of items that are just marked down or up. We don't know. They might be marked
down.
Yeah, they're marked down to $20.22 for a little 2022 celebration. So a lot of cards that maybe have been in that 30 range, marked down to $20.22. Save you some money.
Lotuses, sorry.
Yeah, we got any volcanic islands? I need to pick those up for my legacy deck. Are those marked down?
You give me a Sharpie and can't think of a tap red blue land to save my life right now, but give me Geovolk,
He's saying that he's young too. His memory's shot.
I think you want, is it Guildgate?
Yeah, there we go.
If you can believe it, I once traded for a set of volcanic islands, and the trade value at the time was $20 a piece.
Wow.
$80.
You still got those?
Oh God, no.
Oh God, no. Okay. Well, you won't be getting volcanic islands, but it is a pretty good sale. If you want to get that, take advantage of the 2022 sale. Do that before Sunday at 11:59 p.m. That is when the sale ends, and we'll have another one start. So go to starcitygames.com/sale to see what's available for that.
And last order of business, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Coalesce Apparel. If you like the shirts that we wear, you can find their entire collection of t-shirts, hoodies, and stickers at coalesceapparel.shop. And be sure to use the gift code when checking out to get 10% off of your purchase. And please buy some Roll Todd shirts to cheer Todd up after Alabama lost this week.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's still devastated.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad that you stayed on theme and took second today with your Roll Todd shirt.
They got a little bit closer.
Yeah, they at least scored once or twice. You weren't doing too much scoring here in this shirt, but I also am a big fan of the South Beach collection. That was all I was wearing this week. So yeah, Coalesce got a lot of cool stuff. So that's going to do it for us for the week. Ross is going to go evaluate his life after the double sweep, and we'll be back Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time to try something else. So for Ross Merriam, I'm Corey Baumeister. We'll see you then.